This episode of the Ambition is Critical podcast, as always, sponsored by JMW Heating and Plumbing Limited. Domestic and commercial, gas, heating, plumbing and building maintenance. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, emergency call out. Covering the whole of South Wales and South West England. You can contact them on email info@jmwheating.co.uk and on the telephone 0330 100 5286. There's 10% discounts for NHS and military veterans, 5% discounts for Swansea City season ticket holders and Ambition is Critical listeners. There's free quotation, they're a safe contractor member and a backseat accredited installer. Also, as always, sponsored by Boss Brewery. Got to give a big thanks out to them for the weekend. AiC Live was a massive success. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about it tonight. We couldn't have done it without Sarah and Roy at and all the staff at Boss Brewery. They've been amazing since they come on board, really added legitimacy to what we do and obviously allowed us to use the brewery bar down on there on Neath Road just by the stadium for the live show. It was a wild night. I'm sure we'll get into it. If you haven't heard it yet, because you just haven't got round to it yet and you're going to listen to this one first, it came out quite well, all things considered. We got very, very drunk. It was a great night. Also, they've still got tickets left. July the 12th, Paddy and the main man who's going to be on tonight, episode 79. I thought it was only right when we were setting this up that if we were going to finish, we had to finish with this man. He's the man who kick-started a lot of it for us. He's a Swansea City legend. We all know what we're talking about here. He was on episode 10. He's back on episode 79. We're going to talk about it all. AiC Live, the season that is just gone past, the season that's upcoming. This is the Ambition is Critical podcast with the legend, Mr. Lee Trundle.
Ambition is critical.
Let's crack on. I need you to do me a favour, Trunds.
Yeah.
Last time we come on a podcast, I remember such a long time ago now, you had a photo of my kids on the way in, and I said, I remember thinking about this earlier, you've just made me the coolest dad in the world for the night because my kids have met you. But I need you to do me a favour. My oldest boy's about to leave school, right? And he can't, like they do the signing of the shirts.
Yeah.
Well, we are whipping him out of school a few days early because we're going on holiday, right. So he's not going to get to do that.
Oh, yeah.
So my missus says to me, I've bought Niall a leavers book so all his mates can sign it.
Yeah.
Right? No one signed this yet. So will you do me the honours of being the first one to sign it for him? Just something. His name's Niall, Niall.
To make the pretend to be Jamie Johnson from CBBC. Yeah. That's the guy, mate. Fucking love that one, wouldn't he?
N.I. Yeah. He's going to go and comp if that makes any difference. Good man, Trunds. See?
So you don't get the writing of the shirt and when they were in the juniors and all the when they were in the first year and all the sick forms leaving, you used to grab their tip and sign their tip. All the sick forms would have hundreds of signatures all along there. And it'd be just a blank white shirt then for all the rest of it
Good man. It's a big thing and you don't think about it. I was quite lucky. Cheers, man. Thank you, Trunds. That means a lot to me, man. When I left school, obviously I should have gone to Dean Ever, and I did not want to go to Dean Ever school. Was Dean Ever school still here when you moved down here?
I don't think so now.
It's the bottom of Mount
Of course, saying that. As
yeah,
2003 in Swansea now, doesn't it?
It's the bottom of Mount Pleasant where the new uni is there, because it's all turned into university now, right opposite the police station before the course. That was Dean Ever school, and I didn't want to go there, because I swear, without slagging up Dean Evers, I know boys over there, those were all the car thieves from Town Hill and Mayo. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I'm not fucking going in.
That's what they said, didn't it? Didn't ever go.
I was like, I'm not going fucking Dean Ever. So we applied to go to Bishop Gore, which is out of the catchment area, and thankfully a few of us got in, so I was alright then. I was down with all the surfies. That's how I know Gav Curtis and Ian Curtis.
Oh yeah.
Because they went in Bishop Gore as well, so that's how we were mates, so I got away lucky. But my boy, he was just, we applied for Gowerton, which is out the catchment area, same thing, and he didn't get in.
Yeah.
So they were going to send him to Dylan Thomas, which he didn't want to go, and none of his mates were going. Oh, we had to go through some rigmarole, fucking.
It's the hard thing, isn't it? Because they want to go where the mates are. Because it's a big thing, isn't it? You know, when you move into a new school like
that. It's the fucking hell. I remember when I was in in the first year Bishop won, and they split our class up, right? And it was in another class. Fuck, not being split up from your mates.
Yeah.
It was the biggest fucking thing in the world,
Yeah.
like real fucking worrying situation.
Like
at the time now, if it happened, you know, that's the thing, when you're 40 and you look back.
you go, yeah.
Like,
Well, at the time, that is the biggest thing in your
Fucking
life, then, isn't it?
yeah,
And that's all you
yeah.
can. That's all you can judge, you know.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
that's the biggest thing obstacle that he would have come across.
When we went there, when I went to Bishop Court first day, I said there wasn't many terrace road kids there, and I said really hard. I was like my mate, and they split us up different classes, and the class they put me in, there was like one boy I knew from terrace road, but in terrace road they had 2 separate classes in a year, and he was in the other one.
Yeah.
So I knew him, but we wasn't really mates.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in a class, I was like, fuck. And then boy tapped me on the shoulder, and he goes, like, mate, I'm Ashley. I said, oh, sorry, mate, I'm Ryan. And then he was my best mate all the way through school.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, I know that now. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But you don't know that when you're
Of course you
11,
don't.
do you?
Yeah.
You're like, so he was going to have to go to Dylan Thomas, which he didn't want to go, and all of his mates as a gang, about 5 or 6, they were all going to go it and accept him. So we had to go through an appeal process. And basically he's in now, he's
Yeah.
going to go it and fucking big relief and all that, and I'm chuffed. And then now you'll see that now. I'm not going to show him that tomorrow morning, now he'll be chuffed, and then I got that.
Yeah. See, where I grew up, we had nursery, infants, juniors, senior school was on the same site.
Right.
So you just went
Oh,
from
right.
You just went from
So
one
it's like
to
it
the.
must be a big school then.
Yeah, it was pretty big, yeah. But then you just went on from one to the next. So
course, yeah.
So
you never moved
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah.
You know, you just our house was at our back fence was the school path was there. So I'd just jump over the school fence, jump over our back in the morning, walk down and be in school for like
Was it like
5 minutes.
fucking the Breens lived back end on the Grossi school? Would he be playing in the fucking school grounds?
Yeah,
That's
so
not
we
a
did
thing,
as
that was
well.
it.
No.
But like when we was 9, 10, we had our Wembley,
Yeah.
and it just there was 2 trees. And this fucking thing, there was only 4 of us, man. I was fucking bollocks. I was fucking 16 stone when I was 8. I know, I'd be fucking made to be a box-to-box player. You know what I mean? But like schools now, I don't think you can get over the fences now. Fucking
Yeah,
Well,
you can't. Well, the fence, they're like jails now. The schools,
yeah,
aren't they?
of course.
Terrace road was like that back in the day anyway. So like we'd come home from school and then I'd go back up to school then. I was only like 5-6 minute walk from the school. But they had like the old school, no, they're like wrought iron gates with the spikes
Yeah,
on
we had
top,
them as
right?
well on around the front of it.
But we are, and obviously we knew the way we was climbing over. But every time you're taking your life in your hands,
Yeah.
really, because you know if I'm a kid, this it's good 6-7 feet tall. A kid,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you know, we jump in the yard, there'd be 15 to 20.
Well,
kids
the
in
Breens had like I said, I was fat cunt as a kid, right? They had a wall backing onto the school. Well, everyone else, like Duffy, Jamie Breen, Colin Breen, they flying over there like fucking Linda Leaping. I was struggling. I was left with Jamel's dog. Jamie had the only fat Doberman in Wales, didn't he? Yeah, Dobermans are supposed to be skinny like Snoop Dogg. This fucking thing was about 19 stone. So I used to say, alright, I'm taking Rocky round, right? But it was only because I couldn't get over the wall. I used to have to walk about fucking 600 yards, no round the long way. Like, bought my own ladder from Wicks when I was 7 just to get over the fucking wall. Like, you know what I mean?
I think we talked about that last time he was on, was like the street football thing we talked about.
I was just going to
roads.
say, that's who in fucking
Yeah.
summed up, I suppose,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, well, we had like, so you could climb over so we had a fence, but then we had the railings at the school, so you'd get on our fence and just jump over more or less. But then we had like, the schoolyard that was brand new tarmac, so that was like brilliant to play on.
fucking
And then we had
That's the equivalent of 4G now, isn't it?
we had the massive bins, like that, they were big round ones, metal ones, and we'd just roll 4 of them on, and they'd be the posts. So we'd roll them and we'd just play there all day.
Because we had the big wall in Terrace Road, because you know Terrace Road is Terrace Road's up here, Norfolk Street's down here. There's a massive drop. You'd die if you fell from the top.
Oh, yeah,
You
100%,
would die like. But they paint the goals at one end.
Yeah.
So that's where even though you're going up the hill, you'd still want to be scoring up there.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that's where the
it's a
goals
goal,
are.
yeah.
Like.
Well, who never sees a wall painted with goals anymore?
No.
do you? That's like something, that's fucking unheard of now.
But then it started coming in when I was a kid, where you'd see the signs, no ball games
Yeah,
allowed,
yeah.
and they'd be
Yeah,
putting them up
fuck, I've
everywhere,
never
and it's like,
understood that.
where they're putting them up is a perfect place for a game of football, but you've got neighbours moaning about it, and them signs were everywhere. And that's, even if I go back to Liverpool now and I go round our streets and have a look round, you don't see any kids playing football.
Never.
That's mad, because you'd
In the
think Liverpool would be
Never.
the last place where that would go. Like,
Do you know the only thing what I'd probably say now is the amount of people like cashing in on the kids teams where you bring them in and you pay and they coach them through the week. So instead of them playing on the street, the parents will bring them to a coaching session where they'll have like 3 of them on a week. So instead of playing on the street, they'll be going to them after school, where we never had nothing like that.
Well, I've seen that.
That's pretty much how my kids play the game.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen like Corpy have done it recently. I think Carl Corpy started doing like 1-to-ones.
Right.
Now that was unheard of.
Yeah.
Fucking 10, 20 years ago. Was there? Like imagine having a 1-to-1 with next.
It was lucky to have football, you know.
Yeah,
Get out there on the street, then you kick in.
Remember that there was a time Coca-Cola came up with these little tiny
balls,
footballs.
That was a World Cup thing.
I'm not sure, but every fucker had them. Everyone had them. Them little tiny football. There's only Trundle that could do 3 keeper. Neil Phillips is up down low, balancing an orange on his neck.
I remember when we was in Terrace Road in the infants, fuckers, remember these things, like, and me and the boys, we'd have a proper football in there, and obviously you scatter, and maybe you scatter a kid every now and again, like it's just running past, playing touchy, gets a ball on the side of the head. So they took a big ball off us, and they just let us play with a tennis ball. Then we were kids, and it was like, fuck, but still, we would still play with it. Throw some socks out there. My kids will do that. My kids will bring footballs in the house, and if we go in the kitchen, they kick the football around the house. Takes a football off them. Next thing, they'll literally take their socks off, roll them up, and Niall will be in goals and be taking shots. And I'm fucking hell, boys. But
I used to play football in the house.
I did.
Fucking hell, I smashed a light once, and my mother took the fucking blame, in all fairness. Like, she was like, she was like Henry Hill in Goodfellas, right? She didn't bubble me to my old man, because we had like we was the only house in one went with cowboy doors on the kitchen. I don't know how the fuck, I broke my nose 3 times, don't play on my fucking whack me, right? It was like fucking a Sergio Leone film in my house, right? Fucking when it went in for tea. So you'd have the cowboy doors would be 1 goals, and like the passage door would be another, and there'd be a big piano behind a fucking snooker table. I was fucking, how I got away with all this? I don't know, we had a 1-2
you find a way.
Right, so the settee would move, like, and I fucking volleyed like Mark Van Basten, 88 euros, like, smashed the fucking, like, my man came in, what have happened? Yeah, my mother said I'd done it dusting, Steve! What the fuck, it's fucking 7 foot in the air! Took me it, like, no fucking kid plays football in the fucking house.
No. Yeah, my kids do, but I got a nice back garden, so there's no need. We got football goals at the back. Massive. So actually today they were out there playing, and they will, but I think they got so used to playing on 3G pitches and all this and that. Like me, I go in Mount Pleasant, my back garden was tiny, and I didn't mind. I'd go out there, and in my head I was playing the 1986 FA Cup final every day. Do you know what I mean? I was rushy. I was
sticking the camera in the corner of the wall, wasn't it? The only
person I was Craig Johnson.
He's gone. Fucking Aussie cunt. And then he made the Predators in, we forgive him. But I was seeing the old can you remember when he was a kid playing football, when the middle of the football would burst? And he'd have when he jumps in the pool and the air comes out your pockets in the swim shorts. He used to play one of them. Yeah. Try fucking Trundle come trap one of them. It's like 3 balls in one, wasn't it? Fucking hell. Well, if you in one win, there's 2 things that would make you posh, right? If you had a Mike the Delta football, and if you had a Soda Stream. If you had a Soda Stream with a Mike the Delta, it was king of the estate, wasn't it? 100%.
Well, that's what, when we used to go over the school, like that was the perfect pitch, the concrete one. But my mum got me, do you remember the tangos? So she got me a tango, but she said you can only play on the grass with it, so you don't put it on concrete. Back then it might have been about like 20 odd quid, so like that, which was a lot of money. So then I'd go and play on the concrete, and then I'd come round the back of the school and be scraping it on the grass to try and get grass marks on it.
Painting it green, like
to bring it back in the house.
My kids, it's like that when my kids are the trainers. My missus are buying new trainers, and she's like, right, you're not to play football in those trainers, like. And then the next thing, what are they running around the back garden, fucking smashing footballs everywhere with the brand new trainers. We've all done it. It's just part.
They're not the age to be wary about their trainers yet.
No.
You know what I mean?
They don't give a fuck, my kids. They don't care about fashion. Like, you know, my missus will dress them up really smart all the time, like, but they just don't give a fuck. If we leave it to them, God knows what they'd be dressed. Well, they just have football kits.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. At that age, that's all I done, just football kits, and that's all I'd put on every day.
When we goes away, like, when we go to Bulgaria now, I don't know what Bulgaria was like for the fake kits. You know, when you go away, you got them shops with all the moody kits in. You can buy like 3 kits for 15 quid, and then, you know, the new kits that are out there, if you're buying them, they're £100 if you want.
Yeah.
Well, no, we buy them on Swans. Well, normally the away one because white's no good on kids.
Yeah.
Kids is it. But then when we go abroad, then we'll buy them like Real Madrid tops and all sorts. Because when they goes training, and they can wear them, you know, and they don't cost you a fraction of the price, like, you know.
We was in Sulu, my mother, we fucking hunted for a rush Juventus. Because we couldn't buy them over here.
No.
It was time we couldn't buy Swans kits at Swans.
Yeah.
We couldn't,
I mean, back home you'd only get like Liverpool kits and that beer, or Liverpool Everton.
Yeah.
But then if you look now, you go in the shops and there's
Everywhere.
every kit's there, isn't it? Everyone you want.
Yeah. And they're all expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Steep, yeah, it's like I say, what we normally do with the kids is like we'll buy them the kit, but well, say people will chip in because their birthdays are also, we won't buy it until it's like comes on their birthdays or whatever, some shit like that. We always find a way because I'm happy shell for it because they do get a lot of wear out of it. The problem is because they both for Cardiff development now, they can't wear these Swans kits at back.
Oh fuck no.
No, and I've seen them kick off as well. The coaches,
I think we're quite right. A lot of them coaches from Swansea.
Yeah, a lot of coaches there because it's a Swansea-based development and it's Cardiff, whatever it is. But I've seen him up. I was there, sitting there with my youngest boy. He was before he was kicking off at 6 up there. It was like 10 to 6. It was raining like fuck. So we were sitting inside, and the head coach come over and he saw a kid wearing Swan shorts, like, and he said to him, you know, and he was nobbling him at first. He was like, you know, you're not supposed to be wearing them in here, like. And the kid thought he was joking, so the kid was just, and he was older than my boy. He was probably like 13 something. And he goes, no, look, I know you think it's a joke, and Jamie telling you, when you're wearing Swansea City stuff up here, you're disrespecting all the coaches here that are involved.
I think that's fair enough, you know what I mean?
So that is the rule. I knew that before going up there with my kids.
Oh, did they tell you that beforehand, do they?
No, they didn't tell me. I already knew because I knew people who had been involved. You know, I'm sure it worked the other way around. Come as you're from Cardiff, who strolls into Swans development with Cardiff getting on. You just don't do it. Now my boy can wear, you know, he's got like a Real Madrid kit with Bale on the back. He'll take that up there, or Barca kit with Messi or whatever. You can wear them. There's no problem. But it's just the Swans, as regards that. Even though it's a development centre full of kids from Swansea, you know. So I suppose just the way it goes.
Yeah, unwritten rule. I think it's fair.
Yeah. You know, they say they're all good as gold. They know they torture my boy because my oldest boy, especially not my youngest boy. My oldest boy loves the Swans.
Yeah.
He is mental Swans, right? So like we went to Forest, right, towards the end of the season. So I got photos of me and my boy, my old man, on Facebook. So I know the coaches now enough that they Facebook mates with me. They follow me on Twitter. They know about the podcast.
Yeah.
So they told the head coach, and the head coach comes over and nobbling hard. You know, he's shouting at me. He's going, will you keep my boy away from that terrible club down the road? He's going, and then he's like,
the guy's a Manchester.
Yeah, no, he's so Clefley.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's so Clefley. Fred Smith. He's really good as goalie is, but I know he knows a crack. He's only nobbling. He was like, but it's going to be big this year, though, isn't it? With them coming back in, like.
Yeah,
the league.
It'll be massive on it, but it's just, I think it depends what they do as well, signing wise. Because if you look at us, you know, I think our market is going to be in the loan market, and I think that's why we've chose Cooper as well as a manager. I think to come in because I think he'll do well in that side of it. You know, if you think back 2 years. He won the World Cup with the under-17s. You know, a lot of them will be 19 now, ready to come out on loan. So you'd like to think that he'd have a few contacts to bring them out.
There was only something I was considering today as it happens. I saw on Twitter earlier that I think either AU scored a goal or...
Yeah, AU scored it, yeah.
Right.
The two of them scored in one game.
But this was, I think it was last night or something maybe. And I was going, well, fuck, no wonder we can't sign anyone because Swans can't commit anything financially, can they? Until they know what's going on with the big earners, which is the two AU brothers and Borgia, I suppose, and who else? There's one more I'm thinking of.
We've got Messer still. We've still got Messer, haven't we?
Oh my god.
We have, haven't we?
I'm not sure, but there's a few of them, my earners, that you've got to, before you can do anything.
Yeah.
That's why it was actually. You know, people were saying, "Oh, where's all the signings coming and all this?" I was actually surprised we signed that young boy yesterday, because I didn't think we would commit anything out this early in
I think he's come on a free as well, hasn't he? So, you know, there's no fee involved there, it's just a wage. So if you look at the wages that's already gone out with like Boney, Leroy,
of course, Frees
Nancy,
up a lot of money, doesn't it?
That's a lot of money. I think I seen somewhere the other day saying the ones that have left would save us 250 grand a week with the ones that have gone out.
For that level, that's massive.
Yeah.
Isn't it? When you think the average player, 20, 30 grand, fucking hell, a lot of money, innit?
It is a lot of money. Do you do much about, because he's Everton boy, isn't he, Jake Bidwell?
Yeah, I don't know much about him. I had a little look up and seen, but he's got a lot of experience for, you know, for
because my initial, like, I looked at it, I went, never heard of him, being released by QPR, that's my first reaction, and then I put the phone down because I was working.
Do you know what, I think it was one of the things where
that's what I was gonna say.
money-wise...
It was like, when you look at him, he's got like 220 appearances in the Championship with Brentford, them at QPR, and they were in financial problems.
Yeah,
and
I
they
think
just,
he went to Sunderland as well at one point.
And they just sort of... So it could end up being a decent signing. One of the boys, Daniel Paddy, who was on the podcast before we played Everton. Fuck, it must have been when we were still in the Premier League. That's what that was. Must have been last year. He's mad Everton. And my mate texted him and said, what do you know about this Jake Bidwell? And he said, game as fuck, flies into the tackles, like he said, and I think he's gone to Brentford. He said, no, he's with QPR now, he's coming to us. And he said, oh yeah, you do it like.
Yeah.
So you like hear those things. Anyone saying to me he's game as fuck, he's already on a winner with me, like, you know, because at times I think that's where we've lacked a little bit is you know, people flying in. Like,
yeah, I think that's going out of the game now as well. You look at the players, and there's no one that really does that anymore. And even if you look at the build of a footballer now, you know, if you walk past one in the street, they're all skinny. They're all a lot of them are small. Where they look like young lads. Where years ago, if you think back to the footballers with the little shorts on the legs were like that, they're massive. But then they had to be like that because the game's a lot more physical. So we were smashing each other. Where now you don't really touch each other, do you? It's a different game.
Yeah, it's the evolution, I suppose. Yeah, isn't it, you know. But yeah, you know, I hope he's. I don't know him. To be fair to Norton, was very critical of Norton the year before. I thought the year we'd stayed up where he scored in Sunderland, I thought he was excellent at the end of that season. Yeah. And then the next Premier League season, the one we got relegated, I thought he was very, like, as if he didn't want to be there. And when he stayed, I was like, you know, I remember saying, on here, we're going to wipe the slate clean with that type of thing, you know, and I thought he was excellent majority of the year. You know, to have to play left back for a large portion of the season, which he's not, you know, it's not his comfortable side. I thought he acted very professionally. He never looked disinterested like he did the year before. He was always involved, like, you know.
Do you know what I think as well, because he's got a bit of responsibility about last season being one of the older pros in the dressing room, and you know, he was good with the young lads, helping them along, and it seemed to have brought him out a bit more and give him that more responsibility where he's got to step up and do something, and not only on the pitch but in the dressing room as well. When I'm round there and out and about, you could see like he was having a good influence on the young lads.
Yeah, a bit of leadership, which he maybe felt he didn't have, the maybe seniority, maybe not the position in the club to have that type of thing before. But then when you look around and you're looking at Dan James over here and Ollie McBurney over here, and then you go back, and I'm the one with the Premier League games under my belt, you know, I got to step up, like, you know, if I've got to stay.
But I think if you look at any football club, there's a hierarchy, isn't there? Where
of course,
you're going to have your top player who everyone sort of listens to and follows and goes down like that. So if you start knocking them off, it's natural that other people then step up and have got to go and do that, and he's done that.
Everywhere he's been, who are those players? As far back as Wrexham, Swansea, Bristol.
I'd say when I first went into Wrexham, I'd say Darren Ferguson.
Ah, right, yeah.
Do you know what? Darren Ferguson was a great footballer, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was really
middle of the park when
he was slow.
Right, okay.
But you know, on the ball, he was brilliant, and he was brilliant for me where he'd do everything quick, and he'd set loads of goals up for me, and the way he played there for Wrexham, he was their main player. He was brilliant.
Yeah, I remember him striking. And he left-footed.
Yeah. Well, he went to United, didn't he? And it must be hard for him because you've got to get it all day saying you're only there because you're Fergie's boy. So in some ways, he's got to be even fucking better, hasn't he?
Well, he said that he found it harder, and he thought that Fergie was harder on him than he was on others.
I think we can see that as well. I can fucking see that, yeah.
And he said, like, if he looks, like when I spoke to him at the time, he looks at it and he thought that he'd be coming down harder on him, or he'd play well and he'd still give him a bit of a bollocking for something that he's done. He might have done one thing wrong, someone might have done 10 things wrong, but he still give him a bollocking. And I think the way Ferguson is, I think he would sort of do that, wouldn't he? To try and overcompensate for it.
It's the... Fuck. can't believe I'm comparing Fergie to my mother. My mother was a teacher back where she was farming the valleys, right? Take a half hour to get there every day. And when it was a snow day, the teacher got to go to the school.
Yeah.
Snowed. My mother come to my school and ended up teaching me.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm only 9. And I'm thinking, it's going to be the best day of my fucking life. My mother's fucking teacher. She's Fergie for the day, isn't she? So I'm fucking waving. She fucking ignored me. I went home, cried my fucking eyes up my old man. She fucking blanked me all day. I'm thinking, this fucking stupid Welsh cunt. And she thinks I'm coming down for tea now and eating sausage and chips. She can fuck off. I'm going down a chitney. Fuck her. She can't believe she ignored me. So that's what Fergie was doing to Dad and the poor fucker. I can relate to her.
But when it used to have Soccer Sunday on, innit? That's where I used to notice Dan and Ferguson playing then, and you could tell he could play the game. He had nice left foot, he scored a few screamers and he's pinging a ball around the pitch. But look how he's carved his own career out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a footballer and then as a manager.
Yeah, of course,
you know what I mean? He's sort of, he hasn't done badly out of the game.
No, he's done well. And you know what, if you look at people like that, some of them could probably just sit back and think, well, you know, I don't really need to do nothing.
Totally,
My dad's a multi-millionaire and he'll look after me, but...
He probably could have got him a coaching job in
exactly.
Coaching in the 16s or something, but he wasn't happy to do that.
No, he went off on his own path and done his own thing, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That was him at Wrexham. If I say, coming to Swansea, it would have been Roberto when we first got here. In a different way though. He wasn't a ranter and raver. He was more of like, he'd like just talk and but then you'd still respect Roberto in that way. Bristol, Lewis Carey.
He was centre half.
Yeah, but I think he's the centre half and he's their record appearance holder as well.
Yeah.
Played there all his career. So I'd say him. And then when I come back to Swansea, I'd probably say Monk.
Yeah, I can imagine.
When I come back on loan, Monk wasn't.
So what surprised me, right? When I talk about sleeping giants, is the Bristol clubs.
Yeah.
Do you know, fucking when they go up to the fucking Premier League, I think it's only a matter of time. Our City's going to go fucking max. It's a cracking city, and
Bristol.
Like what? Bristol, like, I'm false saying that. I bet he goes back. I bet he loves you.
Do you know what? I'd get a good reception when I go back to Bristol. But, well, we had good times where we got to the playoff final that year where then I scored the goal in the semi-final. And so when I go back, the fans are nice there. But as you say, it's a massive city.
Massive city, Bristol.
And especially, with them ones that own it as well, the money that they've got. He's a billionaire, the owner of Bristol City. So the money's there. I think he's sort of took a back seat and his son has took over as chairman, but I think he still pulls the strings. But he's
maybe they're not trying to just wade in like Wolves did with tons and tons of money and build it more organically.
But fucking Wolves doesn't.
Yeah,
it's no like.
But then there's endless.
There's no strategic plan who say, "Oh, that's the way to do it," because Wolves have done it, and I think Wolves look tidy.
Do you know the thing? I think in the Championship, if you do splash the money, I think you can buy promotion in the Championship.
Yeah.
Because if you can attract them better players. Cause, if you think about it, teams that go down to the Championship and keep most of the players usually go back up. Like Newcastle. Newcastle was shite that year in the Premier League. Yeah. Got relegated, kept the same squad, and pissed it.
Well, they've done that a couple of times. They've done that a few times.
I think we were only 3 or 4 players away.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you look at us, we were on our bare bones with young kids, and then we've still got a shout of getting in the playoffs with 3 games.
Couple of games.
And even if you look at it, we were only 1 or 2 games away from being right in the mix with them as well.
At times there was the Forest game I went to. It was only a lack of experience in that game with a lot of it. We had dominated the game.
We battered them.
Totally played them off the park. 1-0 up, but you always fancy them to get something from a set piece or something, and what do we concede from 2 set pieces?
We've always struggled with that as well, haven't we? Over the years, that has been one of our things where we struggle from set pieces. And I think that's something that we've got to sort out, because from open play, we're brilliant.
Well, look at the City game, innit? Who come down not knowing the 2 teams, and who don't say that our team's fucking one of the best in Europe, if not the best, and we are where we were.
I know.
We matched them
easy.
Of course. But they suited us, didn't they?
Yeah.
What did Pep say when someone said, "Damn, but coaching tackling or something, and Pep went, no. He said, no one slide tackles in training, but that's why would you train anyone to tackle? Train them to play football. And deep down we are thinking, fuck, he's got spot on. Why are we teaching? We all, every one of us is like, gets stuck in and he gives his 100%. We all like, fucking love him. Love him. You know, and yet Pep's there. Why the fuck do you love him just because he gives 100% and sticks his foot in?
I think if you switch it round the other way, if you're after slide tackle, you're being in the wrong position in the first place.
And
that's what he'll
looks great.
That's what he'll probably think of, where, well, be in the right position where you can stay on your feet, go and close someone down. You don't have to stretch to slide tackle someone. And I think the way he plays football, he's like a purist where he wants to play total football, doesn't he? So I can imagine that being through where he wouldn't slide tackle.
Did you watch a documentary with him? Would you sit down and watch anything like that?
Yeah. I watched the Sunderland one.
Right,
but I haven't watched the Man City one yet.
They totally like yin and yang.
Yeah.
They fucking, like the Sunderland one is fucking blood and guts and thunder. And even the way it's directed, like, you know, the Amazon one is like an advert for fucking Emirates. It's like an advert for Man City.
Yeah.
But if you went to football like we are, fucking great. No shows the kit man behind the scenes, and you know, it's our cup of tea, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd be right.
So it was the Gerrard one. I enjoyed the Gerrard one on Amazon.
I haven't seen it. No. I've seen the Gerrard's old one, but I haven't seen it. Has he brought a new one out then?
It was the one on Amazon. I think it was 6 months ago. Like, as far as I know, it's the only one. I don't know about two of them.
What is it? Where he goes back round Eighton and he's shown where his school was and
no,
all that?
It's all about him. It's all about his career.
Oh, is it? Yeah, no, I haven't seen that one then.
Yeah, it's good.
No, I'll have a look at that, definitely. So, what have you been up to, Trunds? You've been keeping yourself busy, obviously a lot of community work going on.
Yeah, still been out and about. I think when the players have their break, I don't really have a break. I'll just go through and do whatever comes in, because it'll come to the school holidays, and then, you know, mine starts quieting down because now the kids are in school. I'll do the soccer schools, but that's not a lot of work on, so I'll just work through. Like, I'll be away I took a week off, so I'll go away for a week, but then most of the time I'll just work through. I was at a school in Hendy today, so we done like a PE lesson with the kids, little game of football, and then in the classroom with them, done a question and answer in the assembly, and then Friday I'm back out at a bowls club in the morning, bowls competition, then I'm at a school fete.
Trundle's doing keep up with the jack. Hey lads, you want to play in a fucking concrete slab, man? You know?
Yeah, and then in the night I'm at they have a bereavement centre. I think where, like, if someone's lost a family member, a mum or a dad, they go to this like place down the Gower, and it's like a big country hall thing where you'll have an overnight stay in there. So I'll go down for an hour and I'll just set up a game of footy with the kids there, and that. So Friday is a busy day.
You must spend some hours out of the house, and, you know, obviously with everything you've got. You know, are you ducking and diving back and forth the house in between doing these things? Yeah, I'll come back and forth, because as I say, with me work, then with me football on top, then with my own training, what I'll do as well, and I'm out and about. But if you look at it, I still get a fair bit of time. So there's some days I might do 2 things, but then I might be out the house for 4 hours. Do you know, like, be out a couple of hours at each one. So if you think of someone's normal working day,
of course, 9 to 5,
you know, I'll probably in the morning I'll go somewhere, then I'll pop home. So I'm in the house then, and I'll go back out in the afternoon, pop back. So it's not as bad as it looks, because a lot of people say, oh, you're never in, but you know, you still get a fair bit of time to yourself.
I think it's a social media thing as well. Everyone has a photo of who they chuck it up.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, then there's like 8 photos of Trundle, 1 minute he's fucking opening Asda, and he's keep up with fucking Kev Johns. Like, this cunt don't fucking stop. You know, he makes me. I'm apologising to Donna. I'm fucking only doing 16 hours today.
The last time I saw you, I think, was that when you and Leon came to the Malsters training session at Meadowview.
Yeah.
My boy was training with you, like. And just to see their faces that night, like, was amazing.
Yeah,
I think we came straight from there, and I'd done a podcast, and I can't remember who it was. But, like, you know, my boy comes off there, all the kids, like, they just, wow, we just had a kick around with Trundle and Brits, like, you know what I mean?
But then, like, for me, that's the best thing, because I'd look back to if I was a kid, and then
that didn't exist then, man.
No.
I don't even know if it exists, like, there's two things that I stands up for me about it. One is that, because I don't even know if that happens in any other clubs in the country. Like, you might know because you might ask other ambassadors, but I'm seeing now every club in Swansea is playing with fucking Brits and fucking Trundle.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that on fucking Twitter and on Facebook. I'm thinking, my God, imagine that as a kid, like a player would just come in and have a kick about for that. And I also loved what he did Christmas Day, which I think went above and beyond.
Yeah, of course.
Christmas morning, probably the most important morning of any like family man's life. And it was at Marston Hospital, and I thought that was real. I thought that was real.
Do you know what
special,
that one,
like,
Pat? I've done that 6 years on the bounce now. I'll go, because we'll go up with the team and we'll give the presents and that. And then there's loads of presents and stuff left over. So I just go up and it's not work, because they, the club wouldn't ask you to go in on Christmas Day, but it's just something where, I like, it's, for me, it's an hour out of
but still a big hour, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I enjoy going up, and you're just talking about the kids where you're going to play football, but I think going up for something like that, where I say it's an hour, but then for me it's you give the nurses a lift and the doctors when you're in there. If you've got family members sitting there with the kids on Christmas Day where they don't want to be in there, it's a lift for them, and but then that's a buzz for me as well, and it's only, as I say, an hour out of my time. Go down, see whatever kids are in there, and then I go for a pint in the where he's in Morriston. And then I'll head
dinner's ruined. I'm going to say it. The year my mother died, I went on to Romana for a pint. My man said dinner's at 2. I struts in 3 o'clock with a party hat and a fucking my man didn't speak to me till fucking January the 3rd. Christmas dinner was in the fucking dog. Oh, it was fucking murders, mate. Bad time. Insensitive, I scratched all the like.
No, but like that's what makes you stand out as from a fan's perspective, and I think you could speak for majority of fans here. When they see you doing that just builds your aura to them as well. Like, you know what I mean? Because you don't have to do that. That's what you said, isn't it? That's not your job. You do it because you want to do it, and you're not doing it for people to tell you how fucking great you are. You're doing it because you want to do it, because you want to lift those kids there. The kids that are playing football, they got the ability to play football. There's a lot of those kids in the hospital there that don't even have the ability to do that. Like, you know what I mean? So of course it's extra special for them. Someone like yourself or Leon comes in there and meets them. You know what I mean? It's just a brilliant bit of work. Like, we've said that role never existed, and I think if that role stopped existing, there'd be a riot.
There would, right?
There would be a fucking riot, absolute riot. Like I think we talked about a year, like when the letters went out, around the court.
Well, we all got them.
Do you go on?
Yeah.
Right. So that I say I didn't.
I'm fucking going. I'm going up here now. Get the big smokes out. Half a tenant will be up here. Meet you outside Kentucky. I'm really Philip Burger just before he goes in.
We joked about what happened was that night. If I remember back rightly, I couldn't tell you which podcast it was. Just as we were coming over, I got sent like a WhatsApp of the letter, like, and it didn't know where it came from. I still don't know where it come from. And next thing it was on Twitter, and next thing it's the
I've seen it myself.
What Swans fans love is a Twitter talking point. They will fucking whinge about everything. It's the kits today.
Yeah,
they were signing Jake Bidwell yesterday.
Don't start me off with the kits.
Like, it does my nap when I stays over it. So, like, at that point it was that thing, and I think we came on here and we were like, because obviously we've got friends aside from yourself now, we've got friends who are coaches in the club, like, boys we've known for a very long time, and I'm thinking of them, I'm thinking of yourself, and I think we said that in fact they couldn't even dare think about getting rid of Trundle and Leon, could they? Because I think they'd be fucking mutiny, like, do you know what I mean? So like, obviously how does that, but you get that letter, what's your first thought when you get that letter?
Well, it's scary, because you just don't know. You don't know what they're thinking, and obviously it's new owners that have took over, and you don't know where their heads at. I think if it was Huw, Martin and everyone, I think obviously with them they know the history of the club, and they was the ones who employed us, and I think they know how important it is to have us in the area. And to be fair, I think the new owners, I think they realise how important it is to have us in the area as well. Because if you look at the football club now, we're probably the last link that sort of links the fans
Totally,
to
yeah.
the club now. And as I say, when I got the letter, I was nervous.
I think
as well as
it's
anyone.
mad hearing who say it's scary, because I think everyone would think, it would be like, oh, I don't give a fuck, I've set the life and all that. But it's probably not, is it? You're the same as us, you're working, you might be on a lot more money than the average man, but you spend a lot more money than the average.
Do you know the thing
we all live to our means, don't we? You know, every single one of us, like, if you want £300 a week or 300 grand a week, the people on 300 grand a week live the 300 grand a week.
He'll always be good for illusion a tyre though, won't he?
Oh, yeah.
He's about 70 walking around Swansea with his illusion t-shirts.
All the Saints boys got a new song, innit? Illusion attire. Charlie Morgan's petrified. Illusion attire. We're the only ones who can't get free fucking gear. All the Saints are rocking illusion attire. Ross Lynch, Tom Rees, Dean Davis. You're going to Morris on a Saturday. It's like Milan for illusion attire. It's like Zoolander. That's Trundle. He's hot right now.
To be fair though, they've done well with the clothes, getting it out.
Yeah, brilliant.
And to be fair to them, each one they bring out, the quality's getting better, they're bringing more stuff, so fair play to them.
Don't get me wrong, it's not our gear, is it? We can't pull that fucking stuff off. You know what I mean?
Charlie Morgan's listening.
I
got it all day 2 weeks ago.
All we had in the Saints presentation was illusion attire. We all drinking AU vodka from the bottle. It was like a rap party.
I'll be walking around the pool, Bulgaria now with my illusion speed.
Yeah, just brought new swimwear out as well.
There we are. So I needed a couple of pairs of swim shorts. But yeah, because it's got to be a worry too. For one, you don't want to fucking wrap in the job anyway, do you know what I mean? And then you're passionate for the club, you're passionate for your job. You see something like that. Obviously, coaches inside the club who have probably already left that you were pally with. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a strange situation,
Well, there's people who had left who'd been there for over 20 years, and so
crazy, scary.
It's hard. So then you're looking at that and you're thinking, well, is anyone safe? And although you think, I should be all right, it's still it's still scary, and it's not only the wage or the job, it's the upheaval of everything. So then what do I do then? I'm doing my coaching badges. Would that then push me to go into that, which it probably would have? But on the bigger scale as well, I love what I do.
Yeah.
I love getting out in the city. I love going to see people, and that's part of who I am as well. So it's not only a job to me, you're taking away part of my life. Because, for me, it'd be a massive career change.
Yeah.
And then you think back to your family as well. I've got a young daughter who's going to be 3 in August, and then would you have to upheaval and move somewhere else? And so it was scary to think about it. And then just in my head, I'm thinking of other things. What could I do to then stay in the area and live here? Because I love my life here. I love the place. I love the people, and it's a place where if everything stays well for me in work, I'm happy to stay here and live here for the rest of my life.
I would say you get a job in the post office, but there's a boy called Ryan Earl trying to get in, and he plays a commandment. He's a fucking Saints boy, he's got to come back. But he said, get me a job. If he's in, he's fucking commandment off out of the back. That's the only fucking way he's getting back in.
Yeah, he's quick, isn't he, winger?
He's fucking like him. No, if Ryan Earl or you Trundle talking about him here, his old man is going to start wanking in the morning.
I used to play 7-a-side with him up in play football.
Right, nice.
He used to play on a Monday night, so we played in the same team.
He's a good boy. He's fucking good. He had about a 2-month spell with us. He joined us near the end of the season, played maybe 9 games, scored 21 goals, nearly come top scorer. It would have been embarrassing. He was only with us at 3 weeks and he'd had top scorer. Lightning. But then the season after then we were thinking, oh my god, this kid's going to fucking change our season.
Yeah.
Then come in and fair play, he's doing really well. So good luck, man. We never begrudge anyone that when he
moving up
goes higher. But he's fucking good player, fair play.
Yeah, he is. He's a good player, but with that speed, it's so hard to
mark.
mark. You go back to look at Dan James, and with that pace, you can't mark him. If you stay off him, he's going to knock it past you and go. If you get close, someone plays it behind and he goes in.
Yeah. So that Mike Lowen when he
days,
burst on the scene, and you're looking at that, you're thinking, I'll never get. I think he scored hat-trick against Newcastle.
Yeah, he
and
did,
every fucking goal was like a ball either through the gap or over the top.
Yeah.
And he was like, fuck me. And he was looking at the defence saying, are you going to get fucking... Are you going to let that happen 3 times? What can you do?
And I think
It's
because
not a lot.
of his size as well, if you get close to him, you're fouling him
Yeah,
all the time.
exactly, yeah.
But you think though, like someone like R9, he could move that quick with the ball at his feet and hold off defenders.
Yeah.
And he was just so strong. So he had everything where he could go past people if it was behind, but he could dribble past them.
Yeah.
And not only dribble, but the skills and the tricks that he had.
A lot of videos have come out of it lately, right? I think it's like, it must be the anniversary of the 2002 World Cup. You know, that seems to come out. Another one where it was like his redemption, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He scored the 2, didn't he?
In the semi-final against Germany, was there? Or would he score it?
Yeah, Germany.
He was top scorer in that World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, because was 98 was the one where he had the attack
That's it,
before the final.
Yeah.
2002 was the
the
funny
haircut.
Yeah.
What a fucking... I think our generation, he was the best.
Oh yeah, easy. Well, he's my best ever. Him.
Do you think so?
Even if you go back, even if you look at Messi and Ronaldo now, for me, he's
Still,
the best.
Yeah, if you see what he did, because it's a different time and you're talking about a different game, you know, he was in Italy and you had Maldini and Costa Curta, Cannavaro and these types, and they were allowed to kick him, and it didn't matter because he just fucking mullered
They'd be
him.
hanging off the back of him on his shirt.
Exactly.
There's a video right on YouTube I've seen, and I saw it on Twitter. It's like R9 versus the best defenders in the world.
Yes, I've seen it the other day. Yeah, I saw it the other day.
It's Puyol. I think no, Ramos wouldn't be on it, but Puyol. I'm trying to think in Spain. He's like Fernando Hierro. There's all these like
monsters.
names, right? And he's just marmalising them. He's like letting the ball run through his legs and making them look fucking stupid. And then you got all the Italians.
I was trying to think if there was one of the Italian defenders who was one of the best defenders, and one of his other midfield players said Ronaldo was the only player who he'd say to him, "Come back in and help
really?
me." He said every other one he'd say push the league, go. But when it was him, he'd say, "Come back in and help me." Have you seen the one where the French players are speaking about him and it's Desailly and?
No,
so it's just in the warm-up game. Yeah. Oh no, they've just finished training World Cup camp and they're talking about him, and obviously it's subtitles coming up, and they're saying how do you stop him, and Desailly was saying it's impossible.
Really?
And he said, you know, he's standing you up, and then you just like Desailly goes with his hand and talks about his feet, and then just says that he's gone. Says so whatever you done, he was just too quick. And then he would go past you. But saying the Brazilians, they loved the party as well, didn't he?
Well, it's funny enough. I was just about to say Ronaldinho. This is what we love.
Romario?
Romario. Fucking hell.
You think in one side,
in the blue kit.
There must have been a time where up front for Brazil was Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, and Ronaldo. Oh my God. What do you do with that? You know, and that's without what they had yet. You know, they had and you talk about that. Romario was great. He was one of the first strikers that I remember because he was with Barca. I think when I started watching him, and I remember when I went to the new camp. Have you ever been to the new camp?
No.
Right, mate, you've got to go. Right, they've got there, it's like a trophy room, right? But they've got they've got mementos. You know, like they've got. So I'm walking around as like a football nerd. And I'm going, that's Georgia Hadji's lotto boots, like case like this, right? And then on the wall they got Maradona's number 10 shirt, and then over here they got R9's fucking boots, and then they got Romario, Stoichkov, blah blah blah, and it goes like sort of chronology. So you got Cruyff, you know, not even go through all those players, but then I remember something I got them all on my phone, on my Facebook, but Romario I remember, and Ronaldo, and then you go on to the modern ones at the time. They had Messi, Henry. Who else would have been there up front from that time?
Henrik Larsson was with them at the time as well.
They had
Deco.
Players. They had just won, when I was there, they had just won the Champions League. And they had all the players that played in the final. They had all their shirts up on the wall. And they had, like, you know, pictures of them in Henry. They had a hell of a fucking side. Even then, but you go through there and all of the legends that played. Like, I'm just taking photos of everything, like. My missus is like, you fucking grow up, Blue. I'm like, no, it's fucking Aristo Stoichkov shin pads over there.
But I read a story where Johan Cruyff, because he was managing Romario at the time, and Romario wanted to go to the Rio de Janeiro Carnival. That's their big celebration, isn't it?
You was
So,
making Sugar Ray Price something. Because the time Ray Price was out there 3 years on a trot.
So he says to he said to Cruyff, listen, the Rio Carnival, I have to go. Am I allowed to go? And Cruyff said, if you score 2, I'll let you go.
Nice.
So the game kicked off. 20 minutes into the game, he scored 2, and he went over to the bench and said, boss, can you take me off now? My plane leaves in 2 hours.
Oh my fucking god.
He took him off and let him go. Took him off and let him go.
Have you seen the one with Neymar about the last 5 years he'd been injured his sister's birthday?
Yeah, that's a weird
That's
one.
a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I seen that one out there. I can't believe they don't want him going back to Barca, isn't it?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
talk of it, isn't it?
Because there's nowhere else he can go.
Yeah.
Apparently, they reckon, I heard in a week, that PSG didn't want him. He's not really what they needed at the time.
Yeah.
But he more or less forced himself on them. No, like he said, he put himself out there saying, I want to go to PSG. So like the club sort of buy him.
Yeah.
Whereas PSG wanted to build like a proper side, like, you know, work from the back and sort of back four. And then all of a sudden then, this fucking 300 grand a week player thrust on him. And it just didn't work. Like, he just was injured way too much.
Why would he want to leave Barca? Just because he wasn't the main man? Because obviously there's
Yeah.
only
I
one
would
main
have
man,
to say
isn't
it would have been more of an ego thing, because why would you leave Barcelona?
Because he had a great record, didn't he,
Yeah.
for Barca, like
Yeah, yeah.
scoring goals and, you know.
If you didn't have to leave Barcelona or Real Madrid, you wouldn't want to go anywhere, would you? You'd only go if the club didn't want you, and you'd
What
have
do
to
you think
move
of the
on.
Bale thing?
I think he's got to get out of there and go
Yeah.
and play football. Do you know, like we're talking again, Paddy, like we're going on about he's on so much a week.
Does it really matter?
But
No.
I'm saying, like, so it can't be a money thing, because surely
He's already made
set for life. And even if he's going somewhere else, he's still going to get over 200 grand a week.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
you know,
If someone's going to pay Marcus Rashford 250 grand
Yeah.
a week, they're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
get Bale
oh, 1,000,000%.
250 grand.
But I just think he's missing out on the best years of his playing. And he's a player that we need to see playing. It's
Yeah.
not about sitting there and, you know, I'm coming out saying, like, oh, well, I'll just play golf, you've got to pay me up.
No, I don't
You know,
care.
I don't know whether he's just because he's like sad that he never put him on, and he's just saying that in a to try and hit
get
back
back,
and
like
hit
petulant in a way, like,
that saying that, because I don't believe that really. You know, as a footballer, you know, even if you go somewhere for money and you're not playing, it still hurts. You still want to play football. I don't think he'd be happy just sitting there. And he could probably have his pick of all the other clubs as well.
Course,
where he
yeah.
wants to go. So I don't understand it.
No, I think there'd be a number of clubs in England. The only thing is, isn't it, it's that injury record. Like, you know, it's if you're gonna pay him, if you knew you could get 40 games of the season out of him, you'd probably be happy to give him 300 grand a week. But it's just you don't know what you're gonna get. Do you know what I mean? And as he gets older, them injuries aren't gonna get any better, are they? You know what I mean? The type of injuries he's had, like ankle injuries and this and that, and a lot of it's in his pace and stuff. And you know, it could be like
Surely someone's going to take a gamble
I
or get a
think,
fucking bit.
30% he would.
You know
I
what I
think
mean?
so.
Who do you think though? United?
I thought United would have went in for him, but then I think with I've got Pogba there as well on the big money. If you're bringing someone else in, and I don't know whether Solskjaer's trying to go down the other route of forcing them out, bringing young lads in who he can sort of control a bit more. Because I don't believe with the likes of Pogba and that. I think in the dressing room, I might be getting old just saying it now, but I just the way they carry on and the way they go on in there putting the videos up with them dancing.
But I don't know why anyone who watches and says, oh, that's a good idea.
Yes.
You know, it's way, like, and we all young, we've all been young, we all still enjoy a laugh, we all still enjoy trips away and all that. But I just think there's ways.
But the thing is, you can enjoy that and not have it on the camera.
Yeah.
Putting it on the camera doesn't make it any better.
No,
if
far
anything,
from
it makes it worse, because everyone's getting on your back.
Yeah.
So if you're going to
Yeah.
do stuff, just do it and go out. You know, if I look back to my social media, when I played, I wasn't on Twitter, I wasn't on Instagram, I wasn't on them. I was on Facebook, but you can govern Facebook because you pick who your friends are.
Yeah.
But with the likes of Twitter and stuff, I was never ever on it.
No, you could stay away. I got to be honest, if I had any sort of level of fame like that, I couldn't. I don't think I could deal with people calling me a fucking prick and that all
I
that.
agree,
You know, I can see this.
Some of them,
I go like, is this worth it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know if it was like a Swans Cardiff thing, I don't think that would bother me. I'd be able to take those on the chin. But there'd be other times when just someone just digs you out for no reason.
We must get that.
Oh, I get it all the time,
Really?
and it is hard to take, and especially with my job, because if it wasn't for my job, I'd be giving a lot more back. And, because I like a bit of banter, and I'll give a little bit on, and I do enjoy it. But then there's banter, and then there's overstepping the mark on things as well, and you know there's a lot of that.
I think some people just do it for the rise, like.
Yeah.
Enzo is amazing on Twitter. He's outgoing. He's funny.
He talks to everyone.
He'll give everyone time. He put on about his bad back, right?
Yeah.
It's probably the most serious thing you've ever said. And one guy was calling him a fucking fanny.
Yeah.
For having a bad back. And I'm thinking...
No, he was trying to
But
say...
this guy got an egg or a profile picture. He got like 3 followers.
Yeah.
And he's giving Enzo shit. Enzo's probably really being serious.
Yeah.
First time I've ever sort of seen him serious, saying I'm really suffering with my back. And this guy's going, man up.
Yeah, and he was saying if that's the worst of your troubles, a bad back,
I
you've
know,
got a great...
be fair. Enzo's on Twitter all day,
time,
so he'll tell you the good, the bad. I think that's brilliant. He's
Yeah.
saying about the, you know, I think it's good that we can see, fuck this guy who was fucking at the pinnacle, at the top of his sport, still fit as fuck now, and he's struggling, especially when my missus fucking got a bad back. You think, it's just fucking, you know, some things you can't control a bad back.
This is just modern culture, like. With social media being the way it is, with Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, whatever, everyone thinks they've got a voice, and their opinion matters more than anyone else's. So, like, we did I always think back to we were doing the cage fighting show, right? I was judging, and he was MCing, right? And there was the first one, they live streamed. It was on Facebook, live stream. So it was like an interval. He was going on a mic, and actually, I don't think they were filming him at that time. But I've gone on and I clicked on and you can see the comments rolling underneath. I got it on my phone, like on Facebook, and like someone's gone and said something like along the lines of, "Who's this MC? He's not Ricky Wright, is he?" Like, right? And then he's gone down, and someone else has gone, "What were those fucking judges looking at in our last fucking fight? Bunch of
One
cunts."
cunt said,
Yeah, right.
you know, I had my fucking best Ralph Lauren shirt on, you know, no losing a tire, but I thought they looked half tidy. One cunt said, "Why is the MC dressed like a milkman?" Cutting edge casual, cheeky cunt.
I see.
Best dressed in a brunette.
I scroll down. I see a few comments. Well, not digging me out personally. It's not a personal attack as such. And I go, that's enough for me, right?
Yeah.
So he always sits by me, right? He comes over, he sits down, I goes, "Pat, whatever you do, right? If you go watch back the live feed, don't read the comments, right? Because you don't need any life, do you?
Yeah.
You know, when I put that video on, when I had that Ollie McBurney tattoo the other day, and the video's going up, I don't even know how many views it's gone. I was only a few thousand, a couple of thousand maybe. I was like, do you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to read none of the comments on there. Because there'll be
just
some,
in case.
There'll be some kind of there.
Do you know what? You're always gonna get them, and I think they just do it for the sake of doing it. Yeah. You know, I watched one the other day where someone had give a MMA fighter shit, saying he was crap and I'd smash his head in. The MMA fighter done a video.
Right.
The fella walked in and worked in a clothes shop. So the MMA fighters walked in and said, "Oh, I seen your tweet. What you put?" He said, "Oh, can I have a word with you outside?" And the lad shit himself.
Of course,
and he was going, "What?" And he went, "Come on, can I have a word with you outside?" And he went, "Oh no, you know, I was only putting it. I didn't mean it." And that's the worst part about it. You know, the lad went, "Come on, then let's go outside."
Totally.
You take
you got a bit more respect.
Yeah, you got that respect. But you know, all
Yeah.
of them that put it, if you did go and say that, that's exactly the reaction that they.
But don't you think, I just think it turns people that I know well into people who would never really get as wound up as they do on Twitter. Because I see people pop up on my Twitter who all they do is like slag things off. But I know these people and they generally not like that.
Yeah.
But on Twitter, I don't know what it is. It just makes them go fucking cuckoo.
Do you know the thing? I think a lot of people see a lot of people writing stuff and then think it's a trend to then join in and write something to just be part of this whatever's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Just be nice.
Yeah.
Not very hard.
No.
Just be nice.
It's a lot easier to be nice.
But really, what are you getting out of it? Whatever you write on there which is negative, what are you getting out of it?
Nothing whatsoever.
No.
Nothing.
I flip my lid if I'm watching the Swans because I kick every ball.
But I can understand it from a.
But I don't. What I don't do is I don't get anything personally.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't like tag one of the players. Right?
Yeah.
in a tweet and go, you fucking useless cunt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that, like, you know what I mean? That's not my thing at all, like, and I've never actually had a go at any, like, no, Lee Dean have been on Twitter for years, and he gets a dog's life, like, right? And some of it deserved, in my opinion, some of it not, but I've never give him any shit, because I just don't see it's, well, you've got enough, you can't gain them from it.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I think a lot of the times, he invites it, he loves it.
I don't think
you
he
know what I
likes
mean?
it. I think but he'll put on, like, I think he might own that, and a Swede Arms, or if he don't own it, he definitely supplies beer to it for that go of gold. And he'll put, like, come and enjoy a nice Sunday dinner and a Swede Arms. And they'll go, you've ruined our club, you cunt. It's just fucking advertising Yorkshire puddings. Don't get wound up with that. Like, fucking hell. He was slagging off his gravy. You know what I mean? Like Donna's brother when he worked away, when he said that, there's a lump in my, there's something floating in my gravy. And the landlord of the hotel said it's a gravy lump. Donna's brother Jamie went, but it's got fucking eyes.
It's like, you know, so obviously I got a lot of followers through the podcast and on my personal, like Swans fans and that, and I see, obviously I'm seeing any tweets, I'm sitting there in a taxi and bored, and I'm going, when's this fucking kit launch? And I think to myself, do you know, I genuinely don't give a fuck when the kit is launched. It's not one. I've not got enough time to concern myself with a kit launch. So I go, when are we going to fucking sign someone? And I'm going, well, we can't sign anyone, because am I going to be the voice of fucking reason? I'm the idiot.
Do you know, even if it happened, like, they were still going on about this when we were talking about a manager. So then if you start bringing players in, the next one will be, oh, so the manager doesn't even know who these players are. So who's signing them? So you can't win. There's always going to be someone out there who's going to moan about something.
Can't believe the manager picked the call of the kit. You know what I mean?
There's always an angle to have a complaint, like, and then I go, oh, fucking hell, I haven't got the fucking time for this at the moment. Like, you know, if you see the kit and you don't like the kit, then that's up to you. You know what I mean? I got to be honest. The last 3 kits, initially when I saw them, I didn't like them.
Yeah.
But then they grew on me, like, over the time, like, do you know what I mean? This one now, the same. I looked at it when I saw it this morning, and I saw the first initial pictures I saw, they were on the mannequin in the shop window, which I don't think is the best look from anyway, like, and I went, I don't like either of those, because I'm an Adidas fan. So every Adidas kit.
Them 2 years we had Adidas kits, every single fucking person who follows the Swans will go, love that.
Yeah.
Just because we got Adidas. The Saints, not even the Saints will have Joma no more.
Yeah.
They put up a Joma kit, we nearly went to Macron, because have you seen the Sport in Lisbon kit?
Some of the Macron ones are lovely.
No.
When we were at
Really?
we had a Macron one, and it was like the fitted tight black one, all black. But like if you look at the Lazio one as well, it was done by there's some nice, and there's different grades in it as well.
It is,
But the top ones, there's some nice kits.
Sport in Lisbon, Saints nearly had. Fuck me, it was fucking stunning.
I think initially
he was hounding Pennock for the fucking discount. He wasn't answering no messages. Pennock, all I did. He was even calling his brother, who was sitting outside the old training ground and everything.
Yeah, I think the step, like, looking at it, for me, I was like, oh, we got Adidas, and then it's like, what the fuck's Joma? I never heard of that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And then I was looking at the kits, and like I had 2 of the Adidas tops, and this is just a difference to me in the quality to me. Like, I'd buy the shorts because they're just Adidas shorts, and with a Swans badge on, like I probably still got a couple of pairs of Swans shorts that I'd still wear. Like, I didn't like the quality of the Joma kits and that, but they did grow on me to the fact where it never bothered me after that. Like, and this will probably be the same with this now. Like, do you know what I mean?
I think I'd like to start like bringing the retro kits back, but just vamp them up a bit. Have you seen Arsenal's one? What they've just brought out?
No.
So it's similar to do you remember the JVC where it was the red and the white arms?
Yeah.
So they've went back in time, and the advert that they done was brilliant. Like Ian Wright was in it.
Right.
And they've had all like the foreign players, but they're just having like they're saying, when you come to Arsenal, you then become a gunner, you become a Londoner. So it's like the players are just speaking over the table to each other, but it's someone in a London voice. It's just only they're speaking, but it's a London voice, and then it goes back, and then it shows you the kit at the end, but the kit is lovely. Adidas as well, they've gone back to.
Some of the old kits are class. One of the boys, Jackson, who's quite. I only know him as Jackson on Twitter. He pulled out that yellow Swans top with the red and blue.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when are they gonna like
Yeah,
do
I've seen
one
that,
of
I've
these
seen
things?
Is that like the Crystal Palace one?
Yeah,
Yeah. But
Yeah.
then, do you remember when they bought those kits? So you had one, didn't you? Remember they bought was it for the centenary or something? They had all those retro kits. I bought the Kurt one. I still got it.
Yeah.
The Kurt from like the 80s, the light blue
Yeah,
with
so
the
mine
navy arms and seven.
mine was white with black arms.
Yeah, yours was like the travel house kit when you first got it.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And they had one for like Ivor Old Church and
Yeah.
that. And they had a load of them. They sold them. And they weren't like proper kits. They were like
No, they were like
tops.
polos
Yeah,
type-
they were like
type
polos,
range.
I wear that Kurt one to death. I've had it for ages.
But then I've got a few of them, like I've got two off the internet, where it's the one with the white one short sleeve and you've got the round Swans badge in the
Love
middle.
that.
Love it.
And then I've got a long sleeve one which is the is it Bucketer?
Yes, yeah.
The Bucketer one with the
yeah.
Swans badge there. That's just all white.
Right.
And then I got the other one with the Spal, and it's the black and white
Yeah,
stripes
that's what I got as
with
well,
the
yeah.
collar.
Yeah.
So I do like the retro kits like that.
Yeah. And if you look around, they go for some the originals.
Oh,
go
the
for
proper
some
ones do,
proper
yeah.
money, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, some real proper money.
Well, when we was kids, we can I can name like the Liverpool
Crown paints.
like Everton had like the
First Liverpool.
Everton had a lovely one. with
half in it, and
the-
we had the
yeah.
so it was we had that white across the top there
Yeah.
and blue, and they brought that one out as well when we had NEC, or then we just had
NEC as well.
we had an all blue and it just had a white collar like that, but it was a high collar,
Yeah.
which was
The first
a nice
Liverpool one I remember is the Hitachi kit. It was
Course,
the one
yeah,
before
yeah.
the Crown paints.
Because do you remember before that they never used to have
No one had
sponsors,
it.
did
No.
they?
I think the Hitachi
Was
was
one
the
of the
first.
first ones,
I think
yeah.
it was the first, like, yeah.
United was sharp, wasn't it?
Yeah, like it was always sharp.
Yeah.
That's what, you
Oh,
know.
do you see
Arsenal
JVC?
JVC, as you remember.
JVC. I remember like in the yellow Arsenal away with the three stripes.
Great
Three stripes
Yeah.
on the shoulders. That was
Well, Wales had a good one with a white, with a red and the green.
Yes,
like,
I had
yeah.
that top.
And Scotland had a great one with
I
a
had
white.
Scotland's one, and I had they had the, so it was blue, white, and you had the hoop around the shorts. Do you remember that one? It was like a blue band around the
Yes.
shorts.
Always reminded me of
And then-
Davy Cooper, the left winger from
and
Rangers.
then I had the yellow one to it, where it was a yellow top,
Right.
blue shorts with a
Yellow stripe.
yellow stripe around as well. Yeah.
The Germany 1990 World Cup
Oh,
winning kit.
thing that.
That's got to be up there.
Yeah.
That's back out there.
Is it? Yeah.
Green with a, like a thing with a... I sticks a Saints badge on everything. See? Takes it to Dory the bar. Miser fucking will buy the kits. He sticks 30% VAT on. Fuck that. He sticks that. And plus he don't do fat sizes. So I just buys mine straight off Nike. Fucking hell. Mate, I stuck a Saints badge on a Ralph Red the other day. So they ruined all the clothes. Like. Stone Island don't do St. Joseph's Rangers. You've got to accept it. Like.
When we was in the under 14s, right, I was playing with St. Joseph's, and that Man United kit came out with the lace.
Yeah.
That was like, no one got a lace in the car.
Yeah.
Well,
because then was the away one green and yellow.
Yeah, that's it.
like Newton Heath.
Yeah.
Right? So you could buy that kit off Umbro.
Yeah.
So we had the Saints kit, but it wasn't green and white stripes. It was just the green,
Right.
like the Man United red, but with the green. We thought we was the kids.
Oh, I bet.
Under 14s,
I
the
bet.
full kit. Yeah, still got photos of that. Yeah.
Well, that's my local Saturday team back home will play in the Swansea kits.
Is it? Yeah.
Have you supplied them?
Yeah.
You? Oh, that's
So I
awesome.
get them a kit each year, but they'll play in the Swansea kit.
Will they have
With
their
the
name on the
Swans
front?
badge, or will it take a Swans badge?
No Swans badge on, yeah, but no sponsor. So they'll just, I don't know
Well,
whether...
you wouldn't have Trundle on the front.
No.
Put a Trundle holding a DVD in it.
But when I finished and first started my job here, I went back and played for my Saturday and Sunday pubs.
No
So
way.
I went back and played for them for 2 seasons. So I'd go back, if Swans were away, I'd go back on the Friday night, play Saturday, play Sunday, sometimes come home Sunday or sometimes stay for a bevy with the lads and come home on the Monday. But I'd done that for 2 seasons.
So that must have been, you obviously didn't realise at the time that you could. Did you think you weren't good enough for Welsh League, or do you think it's like
Do you know
just...
what? It didn't even enter. My mate is the manager of my local team.
Right, yeah.
So right the way
He's torturing you straight
right the
away.
way through the years, he said, when you finish, you come and
yeah.
playing for me. And I
Yeah.
said, when I finish, I'll come and play for you. So when I did finish playing, then I just come along and played for him then.
Do you still keep in touch with all the boys? Back
Oh
then?
yeah, that was only, well, we went to, when I was talking about going to Noel Gallagher in Dublin, I went with my mates from Liverpool and Arbed, so there was 5 of the lads, 5 girls, and we went up with one of my mates from Swansea, Bevs. He come with us with his missus. So we went with them, but I'll keep in touch with them. I'll go away with my mates from home on holiday and stuff like that, because they'd be my mates right the way through from school.
Does it work that way? Because obviously when we were playing for Trevor last year, how does it, what's the score with, obviously, if you've got to go somewhere with the Swans?
Yeah, Swans just take
priority.
Yeah.
But do they, because when he was with the Turks, he used to play a lot of Friday night games, didn't he?
Yeah, but then at Trevelyan, they never had floodlights.
Floodlights, right.
Which they have now, haven't they?
No.
Oh, they still haven't.
They've just got a new stand. They've just got a new stand in, but they haven't got floodlights yet. And that was one of the things where, you know, the night games for me, I need them to.
Yeah.
Well, I'd only probably play 1 game a month, and I need to be playing more than that.
Of course, yeah.
So, you know, that was a reason why I moved on and went back to Division 1. The same with Division 3, some of the pitches that you play on there as well is...
But I looked at a couple of games with Trevelyan, and obviously I know it's the highest standard in all these, but you looked like you was playing in a charity game against, and I know these boys must be able to play, but your level compared to their level was just completely different altogether. You know, in the first division, you were scoring, he scored 40 odd goals something in the first division, so when you're playing in the third division, it's going to be way too easy for you, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know what? It's, if you look at it, one way, with the players you're playing against, but another way, no, because the pitches that you're playing on.
Terrible, yeah.
So most of them, like, I went up to Triaris, someone, and the pitch, it was worse than a Sunday local league one. Like, the grass was this side, there was divots everywhere, you couldn't play on it. And it's like, then that levels it out then.
Yeah, of course.
Because then you can't play football, or you can't even, it was that bad, you couldn't even take someone on. Like, you go that way and you just slip.
Yeah,
so the pitches were bad. So in Division 1, you know, a lot of the grounds are tidy, they've got good pitches, they've got good facilities there, and so that was another reason why I went back to there.
You can actually get relegated last year.
Yeah.
So you're
back in, yeah.
That'd be a big one, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'll be.
Do
you know, with...
You had a great time there, didn't you?
Yeah, well, the goals that I scored there, I think I got 85 in the 2 seasons. So, you know, it was
successful.
Good. Yeah, but then for, I don't know, going back there, it's like, I think I've already done what, I'm not going to better that to what I've done. Yeah. You know, I think with Ammanford, they've just had a new stand in, they've had new floodlights.
That's what I think I saw.
Yeah, they've had the ground done a little bit, and they're trying to have a go. You know, they finished 9th last year, so even me going there, you know, we're not going to push to win the league. And I spoke to them and I said, listen, you know, what do you want to achieve from this season? Because it's no good thinking that you're just going to bring me in and then you're going to, you know, you're guaranteed to be up the top of the league. I said, because it doesn't work that way. I said, you know, Achlanettley, at Trevelyan, Ammanford West, you know, they were teams that are already at the top anyway. So they've got players who are going to get me on the ball in them areas, and you know, so they're going to help me. If you finish 9th last season, you're not then going to finish 2nd, 1st or 3rd this year. You know, so what do you want to do? And he said, well, you know, we're a mix of local lads, so we want to keep it that way, but bringing yourself in and your experience and quality, you know, just to try and help us better last season, and you know, that's what I'll go in and try and do.
But they'll be able to, because of the floodlights, they'll be able to change more games through.
Yeah, well, I think I looked at the fixtures and the way they fell, I think I could play 23 games out of 32. So it's not too bad. And then I seen one, that's before they've tried to change any games as well to a Friday. So some of them
what's the deal with the changing the games? You know, because obviously if I'm let's say for argument's sake, I'm Trio Wins manager, and you say, oh, can we change to Friday so Trundle can play? And I go, oh, do straight fuck off.
Yeah,
do you know what?
That's fair enough.
Do you know what? It works 2 ways. I think if you're at the top of the league and you're going for promotion, you're going to say no. Where if you're around mid-table or near the bottom and you want to get a crowd on and earn your club some money and probably pay your wage bill for a couple of weeks, you're going to say yes.
Yeah.
So it's you know, it's whatever way they want to do it, because, you know, to be fair to them,
having that like type of pull, isn't it? You know, you probably don't look at it that way, but as you said, just putting your name on the fucking team sheet is adding 300 on.
But then for a lot of people as well, Pat, they probably wouldn't have seen me play, or even if older ones had, they would have seen me and they would like to see me again. And so you do get people turning out. You know, Achlanettley, I think before I went there, they were just over 100 people. You know, then some games on a Friday night, we were getting like 700 people watching the game.
And that stadium deserves 700.
Yeah, it does. 'Cause it's
100 in that stadium, don't do it justice, like, you know.
And it's a good club, and the pitch is lovely as well. And, you know, so to have them big crowds there, it's good. And a place like Ammanford, which is a bit further out, you know, there's a lot of Swans fans, and I don't know whether you've seen the promotional video they done of me signing.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
Which, you know, which was, for me, when I watched it, I thought, oh,
yeah,
you know, fair play, you've done a great job there. And they were going on saying there's loads of Swans fans here, you know, with you coming in, they'll be coming out, the gates will be bigger, and, you know, and it's still playing football, which I enjoy doing.
That's what it's all about really for you, I suppose, isn't it?
Well, there's not much happens down Ammanford. So for something like that, even as, you know, big or small as it turns out, if it gets everyone out on a Saturday rather, you know, because like the average person might say, you've got to be into football to go watch it on the league side like that, and let's have it right. You've got to be right into a local fucking setup to go watch Ammanford. How many people are going to go, fuck, Trundle's up the road, fucking half hour, take the kids up, fucking, you know what I mean?
And I think now if you've got kids, you know, with me going round to all the schools and going out to the football games, a lot of them would want to say, oh, can we go and watch and watch me in a game? I know they'll have a little game with me in school or whatever, but they'd like to go and watch it in a proper game, so it's nice for them to come along as well.
Tell where's landed. There's only one nightclub in Ammanford. Their takings have gone through the roof, haven't they? So you know Trunds loves a party, don't they? Ammanford boys, all the Ammanford wives are fucking petrified, don't they? So you've got to be in Swansea every big night out, they fucking got it. Booking nights in the Dragon, they fucking, you know.
He's a bit far out though, you'll need a taxi driver and a reliable one. I'll leave my number.
I think Ryan might know a couple.
But you back onto the Swans, what did you think of this year?
Do you know what? I think that we'll do all right. I think we've got to
I meant this past season gone.
Oh, sorry, past season. Same again. I thought we done well with what we had. I think, if I'm honest, I think Potter was lucky with the lads that come through.
I think so, yeah.
With the players that come through. I think if you look at them, it was probably most of the first year that they've played football. So really, they're probably hanging on his every word. Where if he had people who was going to challenge him in there, it would have been a lot of a harder job. We probably got rid of a lot of the egos that went from the Premier League. But if you had some of them in, you know, I think it could have been a different job for him. Yeah. If I'm looking from a football point of view, watching him, you know, we chopped and changed the side a lot. He made half-time substitutions with like bringing 2 on a lot of games, and for me then that says that you've got your team wrong at the start of the game. And you know, if you look at, I know he's got his move to Brighton and he's went to the Premier League, you know, we finished 10th. We never really pulled threes up. I think what's helped them out is players like Dan James being on fire, and don't get me wrong, we played some great football in parts and scored some good goals, you know, especially the one against Man City and forgot the other one where we played out from the back and Selena finished on it.
That was actually the game we lost against Ipswich.
Was it that one?
I was talking about the Selena's goal against Man City.
Screen running. He scored one from about 25 yards. I was there for that as well, but fuck if I can remember. We cut inside his right foot and he launched in the top corner. But that one against Ipswich, we absolutely smashed them. The reason why I remember that game is the closest I've ever sat to a football pitch, because my youngest boy was the flag bearers that day. So they got tickets for us in the stadium, and I actually sat on the front row on the ash. So the barrier's there, I'm sitting in front of that, and we played some outstanding football. We were brilliant, and then still lost 3-2 to Ipswich, who I think were fucking bottom at the time. And that goal, Selena's, was the equaliser for 2-2, and it came literally from Nordveld, and boom, boom, bang, boom,
that's right,
up the pitch, and then he finished it off.
I think when you're sitting that close, it's a lot faster, the game, isn't it? But then when you're sitting high, it looks a lot slower, you know, because you can see everything, so you can see the build-up. But I like being closer where you can hear them talking, you can hear them shouting. You can, like, it feels like you're in the game more when you're watching it like that.
But like for me, I thought you know, for 3 seasons, there's only been glimpses of the old Swansea way, as you call it, and glimpses is being fucking polite, I think, a lot of the time. But this year, I enjoyed this season way more than I enjoyed probably the last 3, like, because not the emergence of young talent is a big thing, and especially when you can see, like, I saw Dan James, Ollie McBurney, Con Ross all play for the under-23s when I've been. So you're going, fuck, you're behind them because you're like, you know, they're these young boys, you know, in Conor Roberts' case and Dan James' case, you know, they would consider Dan James local even though he was born in Hull or whatever. And you really behind them to do well, like, you know. So, you know, we seem to have a manager that we could believe in. We seem to have a team that even if they weren't going to rip up trees, we were going to. We had enough faith in them, like, you know. And the football we played at times, it was frustrating because we would totally dominate sides, outplay sides, and then still lose games. I just put that down to inexperience.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know? But to see, like, my boy forced me to go to the Brentford game, the FA Cup game, right? I didn't want to go. It was a Sunday afternoon. It was on TV. I'd been out to football that morning, football on a Saturday with my kids. I was like, oh fuck, I could do it just being in the house. But he forced me to go, and I went. And then I get to witness Dan James, that goal where he's like run the length of the pitch, and you're going, fucking glad he came now. So there's all these experiences from this season that I've had that I'll remember, like I remember when you were there playing and Robbo was playing, and where I don't think the last 3 seasons I got them same memories, if you know what I mean.
Oh, definitely not, but I think that's because the last 3 seasons you've sort of known your fate before you've went the match, where you know when you're going to get beat, you know when you're going to win. And the last season when we got relegated, even them ones where we thought we were going to win, we were getting beaten there. Yeah. So it wasn't exciting to go to the game because you knew what was going to happen, really, and especially
it became a job to go to the game.
Well, it became a chore to go and watch because you knew what was going to happen. Where this season, I think whatever game you went into, you believed that you could win it. You know, if whoever's coming there, it's not where you go, oh, Man City are coming today, how many are they going to put past us? Even if you were playing top of the league, you'd still believe that you can go and get something
like
out of
the
the
game
game.
against Leeds, beginning of the season, thinking, oh, fuck Leeds, like the fucking manager's looking good and all that. And we drew 2-2 and thinking, we're in the league, we're not going to win the league, we're not going to go up. But every game we go into, we're going to be in the game, like, you know what I mean? Or thereabouts.
With the championship, the change over the ball is so quick that you'll have it for a little bit, then they'll have it, you'll have it. We're in the Premier League, a good team will come and have the ball.
Of course they will, yeah.
And you won't get it back until they've either had a shot or scored a goal, really, because they'll keep it that much. Where the championship's more exciting because it's end to end.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that's why it's more enjoyable, because if you want to watch football, realistically, you want to see it end to end. You want to see you go and score, and you want to see them on the attack. So that's exciting football to watch. And I think with the players that come through, where we had a lot of the young lads coming in, and I think with what was going on behind the board, where all the fans are against the board, I think then you buy into the team more as well. And you buy into your local lads, and you want them to do well. As you say, the likes of Connor, Dan, you know, Ollie coming in, Joe Roden, Grimesy, you know, they've been brilliant, and people go on saying, oh, well, why didn't you throw them in last season and see what happened?
It don't work like that,
but you can't do that.
That's a baptism of fire, lad.
Well, do you know what you do? You could end someone's career doing that. If you bring them into a game where in a relegation battle, imagine Joe Roden loses the ball like he did in one game and they go and score. Imagine that gets you relegated. How's that going to progress his career? That's going to send him down, where of course he's going to make mistakes now and again. He's a football and centre half. He's great on the ball, he's brilliant bringing it out, so he's going to make a mistake, but it's about making mistakes in the right games and at the right time, and bringing them into the Premier League when you're in a relegation battle is not the right time. And I think getting rid of all them players and bringing the young lads in last season has been brilliant, but I think that, as I say, Potter was lucky with the quality that has come through, because if you sold all of them now and had to do that again, I think you're struggling. If you look at massive clubs as well, look at the likes of Man United, where the class of 92, where they bring them players through all together. You're talking about a club like Manchester United who can pick the best young talent in the world. They haven't done it again.
Yeah.
You know, look how many years ago that is. So it's not easy. It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah, this is literally our class of 92. Just at a different level, like, you know. And the concern is obviously from a fan's point of view is, all right, Dan's gone, which fully
I think
expected.
there was no
there was no way.
He was too good for it.
Yes.
You need him to be playing there, don't you?
It was. Like I said, I don't think any Swans fans going to fucking turn
No.
or anything. It's just the way it is. He's going to go to a big club.
And I hope he do well.
Yeah, and
I
I
hope he do well. We'd love him to rip it up, wouldn't we?
Well, that's it. Any Swans player that have well, majority, I wouldn't say any, but majority of Swans players that have gone and stepped up, you want them to do well.
Yeah.
Like, oh, fuck. I remember Chris Coleman leaving when I was a kid. And,
Yeah.
Fuck. Chris Coleman was playing for Palace. And, And I was like, oh, it's Chrissy Coleman. Like, I met Chris Coleman on a football plantation.
of course.
I was like 10, like, you know what I mean? And shit like that. So I wanted those players to do well. And the same now, same with DJ. I hope he goes at United. I hope he gets a chance, and I hope he does well. Like, but it's what comes next is the concern, and that's a concern for every fan, isn't it? You know, you see Sheffield United after Ollie McBurney, and you're going, oh fuck, he's in his right, we got as it is, like, and then you're going, someone else is looking at Connor Roberts, and then so and you start going, oh god, are we gonna have another at the start of last year where on transfer deadline day, like, nobody knows what's happening, like all these players are leaving,
and the thing with us as well, we're a sitting duck really, aren't we? Because people know that we need money. So they know that if they put bids in, players are gonna go, and that's the hard thing. And as a Swans fan, that is, you're sitting there worrying, thinking if someone does make a bid, the chances are the player's gonna.
And what do you think make the bid late?
Yeah.
The later they make the bid, the more you think.
It's harder to get.
But then that's the thing behind football, where people don't realise what goes on. Where sometimes you're waiting to move someone out to get someone in. So that's why sometimes it happens last minute, because people are waiting to do deals. It's like selling your house.
Well, obviously what happened with Benitez.
Yeah.
They reckon there was like 3 signings all lined up who got to Newcastle because of Benitez. Benitez goes, these 3 signings don't happen. The knock-on effect could go far back, because these players now, all of a sudden, these clubs could be banking on this 5-6 million for this player, and they can't go and get the fullback they wanted in.
That's it. It's like the pyramid scheme where you put your 50 quid in and then
we did that, yeah. I'm still waiting for my fucking 30 quid of jam or something over all night. Fucking wanker.
But you know, I wonder whether this African Cup of Nations thing has come at the right time or the wrong time for us. Like, because in one way, if the AU brothers do well, it could be great, because teams could look at them and go, fuck, they've both scored 3 goals each at the Cup. You know, we'll take a chance on them, like, you know. Or it could be bad, because by the time they get back and things get sorted, and then it's late in the day, and then you're doing another loan thing, and I think Andre, who's got another year on the end of this one. Yeah. So it's not just this year, like, isn't it?
But I think that was a silly signing.
Very, yeah.
I just think, why, you know, you had Jordan, who they're more or less the same player. They both do exactly the same thing, where you put them in a position and you just roam out a bit anyway. Yeah. So if you've got 2 players doing that in your team, how do you set up?
You got no shape, yeah.
But I think it'll come at a good time, where if they both do well, you know, I think then they'll go get sold abroad, because a lot of people watch the African Nations Cup, and if they do well in that, you know, hopefully we can move them on, get them off the wage bill, and because realistically they probably don't want to be here anyway. No. If they did, they would have said they're staying. So
have you met Cooper yet?
Yeah, I know Cooper anyway.
Oh right,
He was
at Liverpool, wasn't he?
No, he was at Liverpool, but he was a coach at Wrexham when I was there. But he was a coach in the youth.
Right,
and that's what, like, you know, I've seen a lot of people going on saying, oh, they've never heard of him, they don't even know him, but you know, this lad's probably had 19 years coaching experience.
Of course,
And you think that's a lot of time. Although it hasn't been men's football, you know, he's still brought a lot of talent through, like Sterling at Liverpool, that you had in. You know, the England under-17 team.
Foden and that, isn't it?
Yeah, so, you know, with all them type of players. So, you know, he's put his work in, and the time has come now where it's a chance for
it's like a 20-year overnight success story, you know? That's what happens. Same with Porter, like, people say, Porter, people never heard of him. But like, who do we have in? John Williams. John Williams.
Tuna Jones told us about Porter
first. Was it, yeah?
Because when we had Owain on, he told us about, he said, I think he don't know whether he was even on there, but he told us afterwards, we're stitching him up now. But he said, Graham Porter, getting money on Graham Porter, he's coming in. And he was saying he was with Osterstons and that. But I think I had heard about him previous to Owain saying that, because he'd been on, he was on TalkSport. they made like a big fuss of him on like Colin Maurice or
Right,
something, because it's like this unknown English coach who's like top of the league in Sweden with Ostersunds, like, so I'd sort of heard of him. Like,
Well, he would have been mates with Graham Jones, who was our assistant manager. They would have played at Boston together.
Right.
So that was the link where they'd always kept in touch, because Swans used to go over and play.
That's right, yeah.
In pre-season. So we had a couple of. I think I went over there. I think it was once I went over there. So we had a pre-season there, but we played them. So I think he was always on the radar, and they sort of Graham Jones put his name forward, and then what he done with them, bringing them right the way up, and in the Europa League, wasn't it? Did he play Arsenal?
He was on that against Arsenal.
John Williams played with him, didn't he?
John Williams
played with him. He was played for the
It was, I can't wait till 2056 and Graham Jones gets a Swans job. It's going to be great, isn't it? 'Cause he's like every fucking half hour, isn't he? You know what I mean?
That's the thing where he just got the Luton job, hadn't he, before the gaffer went, and I think if that timing would have been right, he would have moved, definitely. 1,000,000% he would have come in. I think it would have been. I think for him it would have been the right time where he said his kids are grown up and that now, and they've moved on to uni and doing their own thing.
I suppose that changes your life then. Who can, you know what I mean? When the kids grow up and you are literally free to go wherever you want, like you talking about now that you've got a few and all that. Because like if you're going, is that the plan for you, going into coaching? Well, I'm looking really down the line.
No, I'm doing me A licence now. I'm on my A licence, so that's something. But I think for in the future, I think I still love playing, and I think the more I can play, if I was to give up playing football now and go into coaching, I know I'd regret it.
Really?
Because I still love the game of football, and in my head, even though I might be playing for Trevelyan, in my head when I wake up on a Saturday morning, it's match day. Yeah. And I get my stuff ready, and I'm excited to go to the game and excited to go in the dressing room. I think once you go onto the other side, it's different. And I think then that's a substitute for you playing. So I think while you can still play, you know, I'd prefer playing over coaching or anything. But I'd like to do a bit of work where, even if he's just working with the strikers for you know, a bit of time.
Do you get that opportunity to work with Ollie McBurney, or you even have a chat with him, or just
I'll chat on stuff when I watch games, and I'll chat with the lads and chat with the younger lads as well. So that's something that I'd like to do, because that's helping me as well in, you know, getting experience in the coaching, and it's helping younger lads as well. I've went into the academy and done bits with a few of the young lads there, just one-on-one training and things to try and help them. So that's something that I would like to do, but at the moment I wouldn't like to get into the management thing, because it's the same thing again what I just spoke about. If you know, you look at Monk, where he's been at the club for that long, he comes in on the management side, he has to leave, and then that's it. It's an upheaval of his life.
Well, no,
he's
he's like the championship equivalent of the Allardyce boys and all them. I found this. Monk will always have a job. That Birmingham decision was fucking. All the fans were devastated.
They were kicking right off. I was listening. I don't listen to talk so much anymore, because they go around in circles. But the same thing. But I happened to turn it on that day, and they announced Monk, like pretty much as I was turning it on, being sacked. And I was like, fuck, I thought they'd done alright last year. And then they had people on, like, phoning in, and they were kicking right off the Birmingham fans.
Well, they took, because they were nailed on to go down, weren't they? And then he got a point deduction on top of that as well, didn't he? And still stayed up.
That's fucking real strange.
But you know the thing, that's more, it's the politics of football behind it. Of course it is, That decision has got nothing to do with what's going on the pitch. That's got to do with either a clash of personalities or something's gone on behind the scenes, and then you've got the staff have still stayed there as well, all the ones that he brought with him. Right. Which in my eyes is wrong. Right. You know, if he's brought me in and I'm with him, if he goes, you know, I'm going with him if that's the case. But then Pep, who was the same, he stayed on and took over as manager.
Yeah. They just rearranged that game, and they sent a link for that.
Yeah, they put it to the Sunday, haven't they?
Right, they turned it to the Sunday. Because I think we got them on a Friday night as well, haven't we? Away.
Oh, have we?
I think so, because that is one of the games, unless I got it wrong. Was that the home game they changed?
The home one, because it was on the telly. Well, no, they moved it to the telly, so it was a 3 o'clock Saturday. They've moved it to a 12 o'clock Sunday.
The away game is a Friday night. Because I looked at it, because when the fixtures come out, I have a look at the fixtures and I go, right, where can I go up and go away? you know.
Yeah.
And Birmingham was a Friday night this year as well, wasn't it? I ended up watching on the TV, and I thought to myself,
we got battered, didn't we?
oh my god, yeah. But you know, Birmingham's not a bad trip. I've done it
Yeah,
before.
it's not too far.
And I thought to myself, oh fuck, I should have gone up there. But when I looked at the fixtures, I went, oh, fuck, I'll do Birmingham on a Friday night, take my boy up under the lights, you know. It's only 2.5 hours, like, you know, so it's not a bad, like 2.5 hours.
Well, for us, it's not bad, is it? 2.5 hours for some of them that we have to do.
So there must be the home game they've changed. They put it midday on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I know I feel bad. I don't know. Sunday midday. It's an all day then. Struggling to work on a Monday.
For me, I'm buzzing because I get a chance to play in the game. So.
Yeah. It's a good one for you. Like.
Yeah.
What did you think of the new kits yourself, though?
Do you know what? I don't mind them. I like the home one that the sponsor's black. Where I don't like where we've had ones in the past and the sponsor's a different colour to the kit. I think it puts it off. As I say, I think kits are like that where they have got to grow on you. There's only certain kits where you look at and you love it straight away. I think a lot of them are a little bit like that. But I've seen it, you know, because obviously we done the kit launch with the photos and everything, so I've had it on and stuff, and I do think it's a nice kit.
Yeah, because there was a lot of mixed reviews about it today, like, you know, on Twitter, people were fucking, I say, whinging. I'm not that fussed. But that's my opinion every year, is like, I'm not that fussed, like, you know.
I think, you know, we just spoke about it before, you're always going to get people moaning about stuff, though.
Fuck
I don't get the sponsor thing.
I don't think the kits are aimed at 40-year-old men, are they?
No.
You know what I mean? When he goes on holiday, you see some fat cunt wearing a fucking Liverpool kit on. You are like, fucking get a fucking grip. You know, people who buy the kits the day they come out, like, fuck behave.
I remember working one Saturday. I was working Saturday morning, and it was fucking terrible weather, right? And I had a fair down in the new flats, you know, down Copper Quarter, like, and this is years ago. And I was driving down, he's hammering down me. I remember driving past the club shop, and there was a queue of about 50 people in the fucking pissing down rain, waiting for the club shop to open to buy kits. I was saying to myself,
thank fuck goes well, innit? Because that's what brings the revenue and shit, you know.
Wrong, but
that's
not for me, like.
Yeah, but we are not the, you know, hopefully we are not the majority, and the majority will go out and buy the kit, raise loads of money for the club, like. Because if it was left to fucking...
Because it's all that now as well, mate, because there was a big thing, like, I seen people, like, discussions today, people talking, and they were going, well, you know, people were saying, I don't like that kit. Well, you shouldn't buy the fucking kit anyway, because you're putting the money into the coffers. And it was all this, you know, it's just like fucking aggro all the time.
Do you know what? I think if you go down that route, though, it's like, you're only hindering yourself, where, you know, if you like the kit, buy it. If you want to go to the game and spend your money there. It's, you know, it's still your football club. Whatever you think about whoever owns it, owners, managers, players, they come and go.
Of course they do, yeah.
It's your club all the time, so it's, you know, this is my point of view, where I'd support my club, and whatever's going on, alright, you might not like it, but you're still supporting them 11 players out there on the pitch in that kit. And
Swansea got to be your club now.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%. But, you know, and even when I'd go up to Everton, and because what I'd do, I'd always do the lounges at Goodison. So I'd speak at the game, I'd speak before the game. Cause,
so when the Swans play...
so I'd be Swans, and then you'd have an Everton, so I'd speak before the game. But then even when I'm in the Everton end, and I'm watching us and we're scoring, I'm like, I'm up, do you know what I mean? That's just in you then.
The Gladys Road end is going to kill Trundle.
But it is my club, and it was nice where I went to Anfield away when we played Liverpool, and went up to where you go up and you have a pint at half time, and all the staff behind the bar had 10 Trundle t-shirts on. The staff who was serving in the bar, which was a nice touch by them.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That is absolute fun quality, to be fair. I don't know what the fuck I was going to say now. I got to ask you about one guy, right? Because when this guy signed, right, I was certain that he was going to be fucking score loads of goals for us, right? And this Borgia bastard, right? What's going on there? Any idea?
Do you know what I've seen of him in the Premier League, or what I've seen of him in training, I think he's just okay. He's an all-rounder where he's okay. So he's got good strength, good pace, good finisher. But then looking at him, I wouldn't say he's exceptional at anything. Where, you know, some players, like you'd look at someone and go, oh, brilliant right foot. He doesn't hit it much with his left, but once he gets on that right foot, he'll get a shot off, he's scored a goal, or he's got great tricks. He's just one of them players where I don't think that he's suited our style of play. You know, I look back at all his goals, what he scored before he come, and most of his goals are quick winger getting down the side, whipping balls across, and he's getting in front of people with a leg out, and it's, you know, so that type of striker where we're more of a build-up play where, and once we get to that byline, we're more or less pulling it back to play again, to go across, and I think that sort of, we never suited his style, which I think is strange if you're bringing players in. Surely that you've got to look at, that's how he scores his goals. So you've got
isn't that crazy how we can sign for a club and how a career can be defined by the way the manager plays his football. Yeah. As you said, he could be an out and out finisher, 25, 30 goals a year, man. But if we don't play to suit him, it might never happen.
I did exactly what you did, right? Because I just looked at his record first. I Wikipedia. He scored a goal. He got a good goal per game record. I thought, no, my mate was rattling on to me about him. I was like, I'll have a look. YouTube highlights. And like you said, there was balls wide in the box, flicked header, 6-yard box. He's like a fox in the box type. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, okay. So I don't understand why we go out and sign if we're not going to play that way. I know. Because especially not, you haven't just got him in on a free, like, let's take a chance on this guy. You're paying a record fee for him, I think, at the time, whatever it was, 15 million or something. You know, and then he didn't really seem to have a chance, and then he's been out on loan, and then there's obviously his pictures of him this week coming back, and he's back in, you know, in the club or whatever. And I just wondered whether he'd actually get a chance, like, you know.
Do you know what? I hope he does. If he's coming back in, you know, it's a completely different league, and if I'm honest, if you look at the level from Premiership to Championship, it's poles apart, isn't it? It's massive. So I think if you've got someone like that, and especially where we are with our forward choices, you know, if
like fresh start, isn't it?
Yeah, if you've got someone, and for him coming back into fresh start, it's a new manager. So you know, I think that'll all work to money wise. And do we need to get him? Do we need to get him off and get him balance the books by getting him out on loan? I don't think it's as straightforward as can he come in and play. Because if it was me and no money was involved, I'd definitely get him in and give him a chance. Because look, who else have we got?
Yeah.
You know, that's what you've got to look at. If Ollie gets injured, you know,
this is why. Do you know about the stupid bet? I mean,
yeah, I've seen the video.
Right. So that was literally part of my thinking, right, of why I didn't think Ollie would get 20 goals in the league, was because in that Leeds game where he scored 2, he took a couple of hammerings, right? And I had been to like the Preston game where he got flattened by a big centre half and that. And when I was having a conversation with my mate, I said, mate, you're going to get injured this year. You understand he's going to get injured, you're going to miss a lot of games because physically he's not, you know, he's not even as big as you, is he? He's very slight, like, right? And I was saying to myself, with these big centre halves, he's going to get hurt at some point and he's going to miss 10 to 15 games over the course. Fair play, he's wiry as fucking you know what I mean? He keeps going, like, you know. And that was the one thing that surprised me with him, was the fact that he still managed to go out there and keep playing when he looked exhausted at times, when he looked beaten up at times, you know what I mean? He gave his Ox a lot of credit for him that way, but I was certain that he would get hurt, and then if he did get hurt, what were we going to do? You know what I mean? We were going to have to literally play 5 in midfield and not play with a striker. Or you bring in like Liam Cullen up, who's like really young, you know, and probably isn't ready.
Same again, I think that's the same situation as the Premier League, bringing one of the 23s in. If you've done that to Liam now, if you had to bring him up into the first team and then sort of hang your hat on him that he needs to go out and score goals, I think bring him in and get him on there and, you know, last 15-20 minutes and let him get into the game. But you're talking if Ollie got injured and you had to bring him in, or you've got Courtney there. But for me, Courtney is, you know, he'll work his socks off, but I think Courtney needs to play in a 2. If him and Ollie are up there, you know, you've seen it this year where balls have come in and he's big, he'll make a nuisance of himself, he'll get little knockdowns for Ollie to come in, but I think him playing on his own, that wouldn't work for us either.
Are they talented, these kids? Cullen and all that?
Yeah, they've got great ability, but same again, Pat, I think it's hard to judge until you see them at that level. Yeah. Because that's like saying...
Some kids just thrive, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Joe Roden at the start of the season.
Joe's been brilliant.
Come up and he went, fuck me. I wasn't expecting that.
But Dan James was the other way around, wasn't it? Dan James got stronger as the season went on. You know, where he just by the end of the season, he was like, I was going to games to watch him play. I said to my boy,
I was the same as well.
I said to I got offered tickets. I'm like, fuck, 100% we're going because we ain't going to see Dan James next year, so we're 100% going to see Dan James, like, you know. But at the start of the year, he was flitting in and out of games. You know what I mean? And it's a confidence thing. He had to find his feet.
But that's the thing as well, isn't it? It's like you forget this is their first chance of football. So they're gonna be like that. You're gonna play games where they're gonna make mistakes or they're gonna be bad. They're gonna be good. But they've got to learn on the job.
I'm thinking about it, Joe Roden was the other way around, wasn't he? Because he came in and just looked like he'd been playing there for 10 years. And I was like, fucking hell, this guy's quality. But then he had the injury, didn't he? And then when he came back, it's like Potter just went, no, I'm happy with
Carter
Vickers and Van Dorn, and that's it.
Well, I think the thing with Cam as well, I think before there was a chance of him going back, and then Joe got injured, and then he stayed in. But then there's a lot of different things on loans, and I'm just going on past things with loans. Sometimes a club will loan someone and say, well, we'll loan you, but he's got to play X amount of games. I'm not saying that happened with Cam, but I know that can happen with players. So whether there was something like that in where Tottenham said, well, if you're keeping him, you haven't been playing him. If you're keeping him, you've got to play him. So
something like that must have happened with
something like
Josh McEachran, who was like the English golden boy, wasn't he? You know. And then you signed him, and he was just one better than Britain and Ireland, which is fucking crazy, really. You know, like he was this wonder kid.
And you know, for something like that, where you're not asking him to do something different because you're bringing him into a team that are playing pure football as well. So you'd expect him to go in and shine, because you're not telling him to go in and go, right, I want you to 2 foot in there or get your elbow into him. You're asking him to go in and play football, which he should be doing. Because that was a strange one, because it was an exciting one. A bit like when we signed Sanchez on loan, and you're thinking, oh my God, how have we got him?
Exactly.
And then when he comes and he's playing, you're thinking, how is he a professional footballer? Crazy, isn't it?
I see obviously the Hoardings one is the most.
That's the famous one.
He's passed it out to the Red
Hoardings. But that game, I watched that live, and what game was
Chelsea,
it? Chelsea. I couldn't get my head around what I was seeing. I was like, honest to God, this guy doesn't like he's ever played a game for. It's like, my mate was going, my mate's the most positive man ever, right? And he was going, no, what you got to see is that he's so far ahead of everyone else. They're not reading those balls that he's playing. I'm like, you're not talking, you're not being serious now.
Well, the moral of the story, never buy on tournament form.
Yeah, I know.
Like John Jensen in fucking Euro 92 was unbelievable. He was in like on the final. He scored. He signed for Arsenal. It was the year Arsenal didn't have a stand. They put a fake stand. About 20 holes in the fucking stand. Balfour he charged him 300 quid because he kept breaking the scaffold.
Paborski as well to United, where he had the great tournament. Was that Euro 96?
It was.
He lifted the ball.
He scooped it at Anfield. That was.
There's a few like I'm thinking of Liverpool when they signed the boy in the centre of the park.
Two Cameroon boys. Senegal.
Was, Diop.
That's it. Papa Bouba Diop.
Who was the guy who played up front, who played for Celtic as well, whose name is completely Diouf. Sorry, Bouba Doop and Diouf, and he spat at the crowd. But Diouf he's bonkers, he was, wasn't he? He went to Bolton. He went
to Bolton as well, I
think he sort of but he'd done a right there, didn't he, at Bolton and for Celtic. But there's the first two I think of, because who did Senegal beat in their first game?
France.
That's
right. The actual holders, wasn't it? I think they were the World Cup winners.
So that would have been 2002,
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that would have been just before we went on holiday, Carlos, that was. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, no, I suppose when you're signing players, you're gambling all the time anyway, and you're just trying to, I suppose you have good runs and bad runs. Like, we actually did a while back, we went through a lot of the signings over the past 3 years, and we went through hits and misses, and there was I think there was more misses than there was hits, what you would class out and out hits, we were even making I suppose you can call him it, you know what I mean, that in the end, I think for a long period of time, from when I would say we signed, just before you signed, when we got Roberto, Leon, Teddy, then you got Gary Monk, and then Robbo, yourself, those type of signings. There was such a good run of players that came in, and even if they only came in for short periods, they did great things for us.
Even if you look at the signings that you're making there, we wasn't names.
No,
do you know what I mean? You're just bringing like players in who like are alright players. It's not as though a lot of people wouldn't have heard. You know, a couple might have heard of me only because of Suffer Sunday and I'd be on with Wrexham. So you might have seen little bits on there, but you know, you probably wouldn't have heard of a lot of people wouldn't have heard of any of us.
No, but you know, like what I'm saying is, whoever was scouting and whether it was just pure luck or not so much yourself, obviously, because he was out there, but like the likes of Robbo. But
I think Robbo would have been
Brian Flynn, was it?
Yeah, so Robbo come on trial to Wrexham, and Wrexham offered him like stupid money, like crap money, and then he ended up going signing for Tranmere. But I think then Joey Jones give Flinny the heads up on him, because I didn't know Robbo then.
Right.
I only knew him. Well, I'd seen him at Wrexham, but then I only got to know him properly when he come to Swansea. But it would have been Joey Jones give Flinny the heads up on him.
Robbo got to be one of the most gifted footballers who played.
Yeah.
I know he's a fucking crackers, but some of the stuff, look at what he did in that charity game the other year, like, it was like, fucking hell.
Yeah, that goal he scored in that
Trundle's like, Anna, fuck off back, man. He's taking all my Welsh league money, isn't he?
The goal he scored in that game was as good as anything you'll see anywhere. Because you played the balls with him, and he didn't even take a touch. He just went, oh.
Yeah.
And just like lobbed the keeper from 30 yards or something.
Yeah. Oh no, great ability, and both feet as well.
Yeah.
You know, he could hit it well with both feet. There's free kicks, quality on the ball like that.
Have to get you nagging for me, because he's sick of me nagging him.
Yeah.
I nagged him.
But you know what? I think he might be coming back here for a bit. So you know, he'll be around the city. So hopefully we'll get him on.
I'll keep nagging him. But the thing is, he'll walk in and stick a fucking nut in me. Stop nagging me, you twats.
Hey, Donna's a funky pup now, we fucking sorted. Donna will be chucking left hands like gladiators. Bob won't stand a fucking chance, let me tell you.
How did you feel about Kurt's retirement? Because he must have been a big influence on you.
Oh yeah, massive. I think at the time, Kurt had, same again, he's done everything, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? For our football club, he's done every role that you can imagine, and I think at the time he felt it was right for him to retire. Then he wanted to retire, so you know, it was nice that the send off that he got, nice for him to go round the pitch and you know, get that off the fans, because last time with Clement, when he got put out, for me that was the wrong thing to do, and the way it was handled. You know, even if they would have kept him on, just said, listen, Kurt, you know, we've got our own coaching staff, we'll keep you on there. We don't want to put something out. But then even at the end of that season, if we want to do a Kurt day,
course,
you say, because I think...
Show a bit of respect as well.
Because you're talking about a man that's been at the club for over 40 years, then you've got someone coming in who's been here for 2 minutes and you say that they don't want you at the club. And I think that's the wrong decision to do. I think stuff like that should be out of the manager's hands. I think a bit like the Mafia Dons, where some of them are untouchable and you can't go in and just do that to them.
Yeah.
Because someone like Kurt, you know, he's probably the biggest legend that our football club has got.
Yeah, of course,
so
because a lot of us
treat that with
don't
respect.
even like, a lot of us are too young for Ivor or Church, like, so you can't even comment on him, can you?
But then that's the same, as a fan, and people go on about who's their best player, you only know what you've seen.
Totally,
you'll argue saying people going, oh no, he was better, well, that's only what you've seen, and at that time, when you're watching your football, you'll have a period of time where that's been your most enjoyable time, where you've loved the Swans, and that was your best time. So then players that were playing there, they're going to be your favourite players.
This is why you get
it.
A lot of people's greatest 11, even though we may not have played in a big, like, we may have played in a lesser league than say Leighton Gibbs, but a lot of people didn't see Leighton Gibbs. They didn't see you fucking taking piss out the press.
That's my period. That's my period from when you signed until now, basically. Yeah. But obviously, when we went to the new stadium, that was when I wrapped in playing myself. So I was at every game home. I was going to a lot of aways. It was you, Robbo, Leon, you know, all those people. So you'll have an affinity for those players then above everyone else, like, you know. And I think at that time, we talked about the first time we was on, at that time, we had a lot of characters at the club.
Yeah.
So it was fun to get behind, because
Yeah.
you knew Robert was mental.
Yeah.
You was the right character, do you know what I mean? Roberto Martinez and Leon, you know, who loved Leon because the kit was too big for him. He ran around and fucking shouldn't have fitted in. You know, it was all this sort of, you know, it was something to be proud of, like, you know, that team. Like,
I think as well, back then, you were not only on the pitch, but then you were accessible. We were out on a Saturday night, we were out on a Sunday afternoon, so people would come
Monday,
up and just
Tuesday,
talk
Wednesday,
to you.
Thursday.
No, but you would, so you were more, so I think people felt for you more because they sort of knew you as, not as a proper mate, but they knew you to say, oh hello, and you talk and chat like that, where it's changing now, you don't really get that, do you?
You think about just where we've come from now with this podcast, right? Since you came on, like you coming on at that time back in episode 10 was like the biggest thing that could have ever happened as far as we were concerned.
We mentioned this Saturday,
and
we
talked about
yeah.
this in a live podcast on Saturday. Because if you were to think now, the first time you came in, which was however long ago, maybe 18 months ago in my house, right? To where we are now, where we did a live podcast on Saturday with like nearly 80
and then having your own beer as well.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm yet to see the Trundle and Robble, do you?
Just wait and see.
Oh fuck, I thought you said you always bring it up somewhere, you got it!
The Trundle and Robble
I'd be devastated.
But we got asked the question, like, because we did the Ask AiC, it was that basically like so we could work with the crowd, like, you know, and people asked us, like, you know, what is your favourite podcast? So, you know, we went over, we listened to a few. I don't think it's hard to pick a favourite one as regards a favourite. I prefer listening to that one over any of the others. But we've always said, we said it a couple of times in the past, the one we did with you originally was the most important and will always be the most important, because it took us from us sitting with boys we knew in the kitchen just having a novel to, hang on, we just had Lee Trundle on a fucking podcast. So then, when you came on, when we were approaching other people, we just go, yeah, Trundle done it.
Yeah. Oh fuck,
And then,
name dropped it.
Yeah.
I get to
Anyway.
embarrassed, right? This is how bad it was, right? There's a fucking boy from Swansea called Rob Teddy, who's a wrestler.
Yeah, I know.
I messaged him in the week. Who's the first person I fucking said, come on?
Trundle.
No, Enzo. I know Trundle was the second.
But
No, we've dropped your name in it. Terrible. I apologise for that.
This is how we're built, like, because obviously, you know, we got you, and then who would be the next was Owing to the Jones.
Yeah.
Right? So Owen, I can see Owen was doing his podcast, and you know, Die Train.
Yeah.
Right, Die Train comes on to me at my boy's football match, right? Because his boy was playing against my boy, and he goes, I'm going for a pint with Owing to the Jones, or OTJ as he called him, right? I said, oh yeah, can I get him on the podcast? I said, right, well, just tell him to follow the podcast and I'll message him. We sorted it out. Owen's got his goal. Like,
Yeah,
he's
good lad, isn't he?
He's actually coming to Swansea to do his podcast with Leon. So we was like, he did it with us first, then he went to meet Leon. So then we got Trundle and then we got Owen to the Jones. And then I bumped into Michael Howard at the football because him and my old man were going to have a scrap.
Yeah.
Right? and then I messaged Mickey Howard. We talked about it on the podcast, and Mickey Howard must have heard it. So then he messaged me, and I said, Mick, you have to do it sometime. Yeah, so then he brought John Williams with him and John Coates with him. And that's how it starts to build. So all of a sudden we've gone, we had Trundle, we had...
Yeah.
And then before we know it, then, you know, it was like...
But we did say, if you didn't give us that, and fair play, we could have fucked us off. It was only because of mates like Bebs and Joe Clark and that. And fair play, by you coming on, it do end up in that night. I don't think that night happens if you hadn't come on.
No, that's it.
I think it would have happened, but it might have just took a bit more time or whatever to build up. But I think if something happens, it sort of progresses you, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? I think with the podcast itself, I think what you're at, it was always going to be successful in Swansea. And it's gone further afield now because people enjoy like the real talk, because you have a lot of podcasts and people can't really say what they want to say. But where with yous, you'll talk about football, you'll go off topic and go on to nights out, or you go on to lads holidays. So it's a lot of things where you listen to it and you don't know what's coming next. And I think that's the best thing about a podcast, where you're sitting and you're waiting for the next story. So I do think that you would have done that. I do think that it would be successful because it's interesting to listen to, and the different guests you get on. you get a bit of everything, don't you?
Yeah.
Like where you had Rocky on the other week, so then the stories that he's coming out with are going to be completely different.
He's our official security now.
Yeah.
We've got our official Photoshop.
He's our Tuesday to
We've got an official YouTuber,
Yeah.
and we've got official security as well, and we've got our own beer.
Yeah.
In fact, we've made it. But
no, we do thank you for that,
we're always grateful for that, because, like you say, it just, the people asked us as well, like, when do you think it'll finish? Or how many do you think you'll do? Like, we got that fired at us a couple of different times, and we just don't know. That's like the genuine answer, is like, we don't know, because we go, oh, fuck, are we out of sort of, not so much ideas, because me and him can sit here and do this week in, week out, like, but it's like, who can we get next? And then all of a sudden something turns up, and then I can get all of it for you, right? Like on Saturday, I already told you this, because like, we finished the podcast on Saturday night, we was already pissed, right? And
my daughter was coming up to me after about 10 minutes on the mic. She went, "Take your time, we're getting hammered." I didn't have the heart to tell her. I had 3 grams in my pocket. I said, "Don't even worry about me, right?"
We were all right. We sat, like, I was like this in a day, and like, people come up to me and go, "Are you nervous?" And the thing is, I'm not that nervous type anyway, like, so I was like, no, I'm not nervous, like, and I'm 100% not nervous about him. In that situation, that's what he's born to do, right? So I'm not nervous about him, I'm not nervous about what I gotta do. All I gotta do is fill in the blanks, right? And I gotta, like, make sure you don't get out of hand, right? That's it, that's all I gotta do. Just fucking do my bit, that's fine. But all I was concerned about was people enjoying, like, and how it would translate. So I'm like a little bit stressed. And then people coming in and was just going, wow, look at all these people who just turned up, like. And then I went on the mic for the first time. We don't hear it on the recording. I went on the mic and I just tried to set it. And I want to say, look, guys, you know, we're not professionals. Like, we need a bit of order in the room. Because I remember going to Neil Ruddock Gentleman's evening, and it was fucking lawless. And he couldn't hear him talking, and it was, and I always thought of that. But they were good, everyone was in as good as gold. And we went in, and within the first 2 minutes, I knew we were going to be all right. Because I was like, me and him just were like straight away bang at it. He was at it, the crowd were into it, and then I don't think I've ever had a feeling like this before in my life, right? Where I gave it, we were 2 or 3 minutes, me and him was chatting back and forth, and then I said, right, I got to intro this properly, right? We got to do this properly. So I said, right, this is episode 78 of the English Group, and the fucking place went mad, right? Absolutely mad. And I got shivers down my neck now thinking about it, right? I've had that, so you get that shivers down the spine. I've never had anything like that. It was like every hair in my body was standing up. I was like, you don't fucking be okay. And afterwards, when I was talking to people, it's like everyone there wanted us to do well. So you're not having to win them over. They
well, they've already,
won them over.
you know, you're up 70, episode 78.
That was
so all of these people probably listen to every single one of them. So you've got them anyway. So it's, you know, it's like if you're going to where an old band comes back and does a concert, you're going and you know all the hits and you're into it straight away. They want to be there because they've heard all of every episode and now they're part of this next one. So for them it's a massive thing where they're part of it as well, so they're enjoying it.
You could see it, like, we would say things without even thinking, not so much me, maybe Paddy more, and the crowd, because they'd heard that in, it's like you're hearing a catchphrase on a TV show or something, like they'd say, I've heard it a million times, I can't think of it. Jim Bowen.
Oh, I've had a great day, Jim. I'll take the people.
And people
I say that 13 times a day. It does go on his fucking head in, like, you know what I mean?
People were fucking mad. It was like, it's like as if like you watch the big TV show you like and the catchphrase goes in. And I was like, what is this?
I felt like Carl Ming wearing with a fucking catchphrase, isn't it? Witness of fitness, pluggy glass, he loves a catchphrase, doesn't he? No pain, no gain. You know what I mean?
What was really, really nice then was after it was done, and it was like this massive relief off my shoulders. Did you feel that way? Was there any pressure on you?
I can't fucking remember finishing. I was hammered. Is that fucking...
I had to fucking finish it because I realised, like, I was half cut by this point. I was trying to stay sober, but when beers are free, they flow more freely than they do, you know what I mean? And I looked at him, he rattled on about recycling, I don't know, for about fucking 3.5 minutes. I was like, right, maybe it might be time to call it a day. We called it a day, but after I finished, right, like I went out to purposely, I went over to see my missus, she was drunk as fuck, I saw her for 30 seconds, I went, right, I want to talk to you, you're a fucking nuisance. And I just went out and I started meeting the people in the crowd. And it was like this, it was this mental, surreal thing to me, like, Because like I'm in work, I didn't finish work till like 8 o'clock on Friday night.
Yeah.
I worked like a 14-hour shift. And the next day I walked into a place and they treated me like I was fucking you. Do you know what I mean? I was shaking people's hands. They were having photos taken with me. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And it went on for a while, like, you know, people coming over and meeting all these people. Like one guy came up to me and he introduced himself by his Twitter @ right? Yeah. And I was like, fuck, we've been talking for about 2 years or something, that type of thing. It was like this, it was so surreal, but fucking, just like I say, amazing experience at the same time, like, you know what I mean? I don't think you could do that type of thing like we talked about. I don't think you could do that type of thing too regularly. It's like something you've got to like really keep it.
But then they're good for like doing specials. So even if you've done a Christmas special,
this is what we talk about. Paddy's organising the next fucking.
Oh yeah, the Donna wants an Hoover tour, we call it. I'm nice and a fucking pack in. Donna wants his shark Hoover. It's about 300 quid. She can fuck off. She's mourning because she got to plug one into the wall. What's happened to society here? Everyone's mourning because you got to plug a fucking Hoover in.
This is how the conversation went, right? Now, I'm not slagging him down. But I did everything for the live show, right? I said, Pat, don't worry about it, just turn up on a night. That's all I needed to do, right? Because I know on a night he's going to kill it, I don't need to do anything else, right? So I organised everything. I was meeting to a Boss Brewery, right? I was fucking checking out sound system, all sorts of fucking nonsense. I don't even know what I'm doing, truth be told. I organised the tickets. The week in the lead up to the show, the week in the lead up, I had about 20 tickets hanging back to me. And I knew I could shift them because I had a waiting list, so I was shifting them. It was just a fucking headache. My missus was giving me grief. She's going, you've just come in from work, you were on your phone, you're fucking talking over there, you haven't seen the kids. It was a fucking nightmare, right? So anyway, that was done. So about 4 or 5 days before the show, Paddy goes, you know the money this made, which was 600 quid. We did the show on the proviso that we were going to buy all new mics. So you know, you've seen the setup, you've done it before, but we were going to make it a bit more professional. We were going to go professional. And he said, you know my 300 quid, can I have it? I need to buy Donna a Hoover. Now I'm sitting there now, imagine my stress.
I think I caught him on a bad day.
My stress levels are like this, right? And I'm going, Pad, now we wants to start input, right? When we're talking about the dough, right? I'm like, so I did it, I just sort of set myself down. And then like I messaged him back the next day, I was like, Pad, we cannot do it, and blah, 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 for these reasons. And he went, alright mate. Leave it so then I think no more of it, and then he slanders me then on a night. He makes a big joke, but thankfully it was funny as fuck, and it became like a running joke for the fucking night. But do you know how we lucked out, right? On Scott, this is the type of thing I'm talking about, right? We lucked out. There was a boy there on Saturday night called Joel Maguire. He did our header for us, which is like on our iTunes, you know. There's that picture there. Yeah. So you can see there, he designed that for us, right? So Jordan was there, and he runs the bunkhouse in town. The live music venue on the Kingsway, right? He said, mate, I had a great time last night. I just want to help you out. He said, I know all of the equipment that you need, and you can run it all off your iPad, and I'm prepared to pay for it if I can sponsor the podcast. I was like, 100%. Yeah. I text Paddy, Pad, tell Donna she got a fucking Hoover.
Started dusting and everything. It looked like cobwebs in cowboy films. That's what it's called like since I went back, isn't it? Honestly, we've had rats in a lot, like it's fucking turned into like that. Big up Jordan, you've changed everything.
You are, changed the game.
I thought when he texted me, he said, Jordan's text me, he said, I realised what he really need out of the podcast and I'm willing to get it. I thought, great, he's buying the Dyson. I didn't realise he was offering to buy the mic, so I was fucking get it.
Yeah, you know. So basically we all got what we wanted at the fucking end, like. But it was a brilliant night. Couldn't gone better than either of us could have fucking expected.
No, if we would have said on like the Wednesday, this is how it's going to go. Because you do think you've done them, and who thinks, fuck.
I think, but same again, you'd always worry too much, don't you? And you'd always think. You'd always think of what bad can happen instead of what good. So then once you get there, it's like having your own party, isn't it?
Spot on. Do you know what, mate? I love going to other people's parties, right? I don't think I've ever had a birthday party because I'm scared.
Too much worry, isn't it?
Mate, I'll go to any party, I'll go to the opening of an envelope. Yeah. But no, like, if it's your own party or your family party or your wedding, you are fucking... It's horrific.
Yeah,
it's not for me, like, you know.
But I think once something like that where everyone's coming and they're ready for a good night, they know what they're going to get. So they're bought into it. And
I said to him that as the night went on, and I had Denty do playlists for me, which I'd added to and that, and there was a point where I was down the back here, like and I just the song Fire by Kasabian come on, and it's like slow start, and I looked up the room and I just saw people just start getting up and like they're like fucking hands in the air singing like fuck, and I was like, whoa, fucking hell, like everyone's having just like the most amazing time tonight, like, and it was so satisfying in a different way to any sort of satisfaction I'd ever had before in my life. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like playing football and scoring a goal or winning.
No, but I think it's the same. I think it's the same feeling though.
Yeah.
Where you're going on about where with the ears on the back of your neck and your arms, and but I think that's the same feeling as if when you score a goal and then you go over and you feel you hear that noise of the crowd, and that's something where that feeling that you felt, you probably can't replicate that again.
No.
Because it's just a natural feeling that made you feel at that time, where that's the same as if I scored a goal, you'd get that same feeling. But
it's just on a bigger level, isn't it? It's the same feeling, just on a bigger scale.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even say it's on a bigger scale. I'd just say that that's just how you feel.
It was I would say we couldn't have done any better. And just the next day, like I texted him, I texted him the next day, I was like, even though 70 fucking people told me last night was brilliant, I still woke up this morning flapping whether people were enjoying themselves, like, you know what I mean? And then I was getting like the next day the Twitter messages and stuff, and I was like, I sort of relaxed then. But that's just my nature, like. I think that's what makes me, if I'm good at anything, that's what makes me good at anything, is because I'm that way. You know what I mean? Between us, we level out in the middle, like. Paddy's laid back as fuck, and I'm fucking the other end of the scale. So when we're together, we sort of even out in the middle, like, you know what I mean? Between us, we get it right, like, you know. So I was fucking chuffed with it. But you two are going to be working together now?
Yeah,
it's Friday, isn't it? Yeah.
What is it, the 12th, Pad, yeah?
This Friday? Yeah. No, next Friday.
Next Friday. Yeah, next Friday. Should be good fun.
Yeah, so in the same place,
that's it,
isn't it?
I think it'd be the same sort of setup.
It should be.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it should be great.
Like they've done events there before. I don't think they've done any event like our fucking event there before. But you know, if they look at that and they use it as a guide and they think, you know, maybe it's going to be football fans, similar type of thing, they should set it up exactly the same.
Well, I think they will do. If they've seen how your night went and it was a success, they'd be stupid to change it around anyway, wouldn't they? So I think they'll probably go with exactly the same.
Well, we've seen before, like on a Q&A, and we've seen all the it's been like we've seen Ruddock. Paul Merson was great for me.
Merson was brilliant.
But I got to be honest, we were one of the best I've seen. There's no other footballer, guest speaker, standing on a chair singing fucking Lionel Richie at the end of the night. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna get that anywhere else, mate. You know what I mean?
I love a little. I've always loved to sing song even since I was a kid. Like when I was younger, must have been about 10. So there was a singing competition on the radio, and it was to win 2 tickets to see Michael Jackson. He was playing in Aintree.
Right.
So
was he really?
Yeah, he done Aintree in. I think it was 86. He done Aintree with the race course. So it was a massive concert. So my mum says, "Why don't you enter this?" So she's on the phone. I think first round I sang Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up.
Nice,
second round I done a couple of Michael Jackson ones, and then got to the final.
Done
another Michael Jackson one, and then won it.
No way!
Yeah. So then,
don't tell me Michael Jackson figured this is going to kill us either.
So then they send the tickets out to ours and that. So get the tickets, and then my mum had been out and she said, someone's offered £70 for them tickets there, and I went, "Oh, go on, sell them."
What?
So
fucking hell's like the champs. Don't tell me that Michael finger. It was Paul Smith. This is why Paul Smith is so aggressive on Twitter.
So I ended up sold the tickets. I got myself 3 footy kits,
nice,
and a tracksuit. So then they want a replay then to say, "Oh, how did the concert go?" They want to get me the next week.
Who turns up with your SPX strategy?
So it's me, my nan and my mum in the living room. So then we come up with this story that the tickets had got robbed. So here's me.
Couldn't just say the time full stop. Fucking hell.
So then I'm on the phone on the radio.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so we was on the bus, and then we got there, my mum's bag was open and the tickets were gone. And they're going, oh, you must have been devastated. Oh yeah, we were gutted, we were so looking forward to the concert. Oh, listen, we're going to have to do something, we're going to invite you up to the radio station. We're going to get you a goodie bag, we'll look after you. So, oh yeah, thanks. So then it was up in Manchester. So me, mum, me nan, up on the train to Manchester. So I've got me black kecks on, white socks and me black shoes. I've got my school blazer on, took the badge off.
Nice, yeah.
Little white glove. I'm sitting on the train going up to Manchester like Michael Jackson. Getting a radio station. They give us a big goodie bag, loads of CDs, loads of Michael Jackson stuff, and I had to go on the radio and tell the story of
The worst thing is, this fucking old girl went and sold the goodie bag on the road.
and got a goalie kit.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Dodged the bullet. Michael Jackson. Fucking hell. Obviously, another big thing which happened this year was Huw Jenkins leaving, who I'm sure had a massive influence on your career here as well as Kirk. Like, how did that affect you personally with him leaving?
Yeah, I was gutted because I think, Hugh's had a hard time, with the fans and the way over the takeover and everything. And I think when that happens, people forget that the good that he's done.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
To come in as a chairman from a League 2 club and to bring you up into the Premier League, to bring you to winning a major trophy into Europe, the nights like in Valencia and stuff like that. So I think it was sad to see it tarnished, his name tarnished. But fans are going to do that when it's going bad. So I was gutted for him. I spoke to him when it happened, and for me it was sad to see him leave.
In that way, like...
Yeah, because I think that he's done really well. I think, the thing over with Dan James going to Leeds and Leroy going to Villa and then that not happening, sort of that was a sign-off thing where, for the football club and for the owners, you're more or less giving Dan away there on a... And then Leeds ended up getting promoted.
It's worked out. It's like a masterstroke now.
Where now you've earned 15 million off someone you paid nothing for. You've had him as a player being brilliant for us to the end of the season. So I think as his final little, going away present, he's give the club that back. But I think it'll be one of them where in years to come and it's settled down, I think people will then realise the good that he done for the club.
Like them 7 years.
We did a podcast just after he left, and it basically was, we broke it down like the good and the bad, you know what I mean? And we went right through it, and you can't talk just constantly about the bad, because you have to talk about the positives and the good things that he did along the way as well. Otherwise you're blinded, you're not seeing what he did to get us to where we were. Yeah, sure, did he make great decisions towards the end? No. And I'm you'd like to think in time that he would probably admit that once it's all died down and settled down. But I thought, it must have, obviously, because you had a long relationship with him, probably a personal relationship with him, you got on with him,
I think, even for Huw and Martin, I probably wouldn't be in this role now. It was them who sort of made the role up for me to come back. Don't get me wrong, I think it suited me and the club, and it's a role I think that was sort of made for, because I love doing it. But for them two, they was the one who come and give me, the offer to come back and work at the football club. So, I thank them for that. But even just when I was coming here as a player, I remember meeting Huw and chatting, and he said, if you score goals here, he said, you'll be loved. And then, I come and started off and done what I've done, and, I'm still here now. What are we talking, like 15, 16 years later?
I wouldn't put it like that, innit? 15 years. How many players can say, they come and go, like, how many players can say 15 years who's still employed by the club in the city that who seem to love, you know what I mean?
You and Leon and in the same boat, like, we after, obviously, you had been on, and then we went through that sort of first season, and we were still finding our feet. Like, as soon as I saw Leon, I had a word that Leon's not going to go into coaching, he's going to go into the community thing. The first thing I texted him, I said, we'll get Leon Britton on this podcast. Because there's a difference, like, between being a coach and being like yourselves, and we did, like, it's such a big thing. And like, obviously you're a Scouser, he's from London, but you're both entrenched in this club here, like, you know what I mean? And it's so easy to talk to you the same way it was to talk to Leon. Like, your personalities are similar, everything. That's why people love you and love Leon, you know, in similar way. Like,
I think as well that way when you're talking to him, and as with myself, you know that it is a natural love for the club and for the place. It's not manufactured where someone's putting it on for like a, you know, if they come here and sign and you just put it on, and then it's we've lived in the city this long, you know, love the football club, still work at the football club, and you know it's part of our art, like it's part of yours. And what when the football club's going through bad times, even though we're still working for the club, it still hurts us as well. Like it would hurt you, because it's, you know, we see it as our football club.
yeah. Have you met Trevor Birch yet?
Yeah, met him a few times, and I think that he's come in and he's done really well. I think what he's done well is come out and spoke in the
I think
press.
people appreciate that.
And I think, you know, people say, oh, well, you know, that never happened before. But it's the same thing again where Huw is not that type of personality. So I don't think he would be comfortable coming out and doing that, where Trevor's a different personality where he feels comfortable to go out and do that. And when he first come, he went round the lounges and met everyone and went round and met all the staff, and you know, we're all different, we all handle things different. You've just said the same, you two work doing the same thing, but you're two completely different characters. And I think Trevor is someone where he wants to get it out into the public and he wants to tell the fans what's happening. And I think if you do it that way, you know, you help yourself, because, you know, the fans are not second guessing anything and making rumours up. You're coming out and telling them what's what. And I think the situation what the club's in, he's the right man to come in as well now and try and sort it out for us.
It looks that way, you know, from what little I know. He got, like, obviously he got the football side because he had a career in football, but he's like financial side as well. He may be from what he said, he's saying all the right things, so that people are impressed. He's actually one of the few things that Swans fans are not moaning about. People are going, he seems like he's the right man for the job, but time will tell on that. And obviously, you know, we've got an important summer period coming up now, and I suppose come the transfer window, if it's all sort of gone tits up again like it did last year, he'll be fucking called a fucking few rough names, like, you know what I mean? But, you know, at this point, it looks like he's doing all the right things, and he's got the interest of the club at heart, you know. But it's always going to boil down to finances, isn't it? You know, and if the money's not there to spend, it won't get spent. And if bids come in for players and they're going to go, they're going to go, you know.
It is, and I think it's like that, what we said before. I think this is going to be a season where it's going to be about loans. I don't think we're not going to start spending money unless you get the high earners off the wage bill. Because at the end of the day, I know it's our football club, but they're running it as a business.
Of course, yeah.
So they're not going to, you know, if you look at it the other way, where clubs have thrown money at it and, you know, it's come back and bit them on the arse and they've ended up going into administration. Look at a club like Bolton now. And what
did you see that?
And do you know what?
They got like 5 squad members for the upcoming season.
No.
65.
Fuck yeah. To me, I think of Bolton, I think Kocha, you know what I mean? And
Nolan was there when he done really well for them, scoring goals.
Fuck it, any football club is like, any football club is a few bad decisions from fucking going on the business,
Especially
look at that disaster, players not even getting played.
I know.
You know,
there is something to be said for just finding your watermark and sort of staying there, like financially. I mean, like, you know, we burst straight through that. And fucking flew up to the Premier League, you know, and then found it hard to stay there, and they've set us back years, you know what I mean?
But then I think what we done wrong was try to chase staying there and threw everything at it, and then it comes back to haunt you then in the end if you do get relegated.
And spending a lot of money on average players as well. You know what I mean? Spending big wages on players who are not. Sometimes there's a lot to be said for the hungry players that are young or have been cast off by a few clubs, and they come through and they fucking want it. I think we spent too much money on like people like the AUs, like we mentioned, who don't really give a fuck what club they're in. Let's be honest, they care about the coin, and they go on and they earn a lot of money for being average week in week out. Like that's what it boils down to, right?
And then even like taking the gamble on Wilf, where, you know,
Wilf
was brilliant the first time.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
Second time, if you look at his football, he hadn't played for probably 3 years. He went to Stoke, who was another relegation team, and never got in their team. So it's like, you know, I think you're bringing him back in the hope that he's going to be the Wilf what he was, and you're bringing him home and he's going to then turn back into what he was. But if you haven't played football for 3 years, you're going to be miles off what he was.
Yeah.
You know, you know yourself, if you haven't played football for a couple of weeks and you go back to your Sunday team or whatever, you're off it then.
Off the pace.
So for 3 years.
Yeah. It was a shame really because he was so good first time.
Oh, unbelievable.
Brilliant.
He was so good to watch.
Remember that photo with John Terry and I think the other fucking centre defender just laying down on the floor and he was standing above him.
Yeah.
He fucking bullied him.
But then he's another one where the first time around where you're waiting for someone to come in and buy in because he was too good for us in that first time. What he was doing, he was unbelievable. And you were just waiting for him to go.
His record over that year, wasn't it? Whatever year it was, from the January to the December, he scored as many as Aguero, like you know, in that 12-month period. You're like, fucking hell. Of course, you know.
And that's for Swansea. You know, Aguero was playing in a Man City team with all them players, creating how many chances?
Yeah. Like you say, it's a decision to bring him back. Same with Andre Ayew, that's still costing us now, and could potentially cost us for another 2 or 3 years, like, you know. Now, my fear was, before the start of last season, was that when we were, you know, it was obvious we were going to be bringing a lot of kids in, that we just nosedive through the leagues, you know. You know, last year was, you know, we've settled there, and if we keep this side, I don't see us being involved in that relegation.
Oh, no, I don't either.
You know,
I don't see us being there, no chance.
But we've got to keep this side. You know, you've got to keep Connor Roberts and Selena and these guys and Ollie. Or if you can't keep them because you've got to sell them, you have to replace them some way or somehow, like, because otherwise you're going to get dragged in.
Yeah, I know.
Once you start losing games and you start getting dragged into the mire and you're not a very physical side and it's a downward spiral, like, you know.
Well, you see them teams at the bottom, they very rarely get out of it, do it? It's always the same teams who are down there, and once they're down there for this, especially when you come into that second half of the season, you don't hardly see a couple of them teams go bum bum and get out of it. They stay down there because it's hard to get out of that rut.
It's a tough old league championship, and physically, I remember watching us against Preston. It was the first home game of the year, and they weren't much impressed. And we beat them 1-0, but they just physically dominated us. Like, it was like men against boys at times, and I was like, that's where we're going to really, really feel it this year. I don't think actually it affected us as much as I expected us to.
Yeah.
You know, I thought we'd always do well against the footballing sides and then struggle against physics. Like Birmingham was another one. We got battered, like, physically. They just dominated things. They seemed to be quicker. But we did grow into the league, you know, and we got stronger. Even the players who don't look strong got stronger. You know, and Matty Grimes was just a revelation.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
He was absolutely brilliant. I've been Nottingham Forest. I'd say that was the best, apart from I couldn't say it's the best because a couple of Dan James's performances were fucking on world class, but on that level. But he was so good that day. Forest couldn't get anywhere near him. Yeah. And they had Ben Watson and who else? There was another experienced centre midfielder that played Premier League football, and he was just light years ahead of what he did. And it's not like he's like bursting through this. He's doing what he does. Yeah. But he was just brilliant at it. And I think as much as anyone, he surprised me as much as anyone this year. It's
the same again. Look what that lad's had to go through since he's come here. He's been out on loan a few times where he's had to go away from the club to earn his stripes, play first team football, and then come back in and do that. So it is a chance where when you first come, you might not be ready. You've got to go out and earn that. And he's come back and, you know, rightly so, played of the year last year, player's player. You know, he was brilliant.
Yeah, you can't do much more than that.
No.
You know, I think the player's player is probably as important to a player.
Yeah, that's your biggest one.
Because, you know, if you've got the respect of the players around you, if they are picking you, you know you've done something right. Like, you know, I mean, a manager's one could be slightly biased. It's not in this case, of course it's not. I think he deserved it, like, you know. But that's the big one, isn't it? When players play of the year, you've got the respect of everyone around you, like, you know. And like I say, I thought he thoroughly deserved it. I actually, when I looked at the Player of the Year awards and all that, I thought he was bang on. You know, you give Dan James Young Player of the Year, didn't you? And then, Matty Grimes won the other two. Actually, we scored a lot. We did a mock Player of the Year thing and all that about, you know, this time last year, but it'd been before the awards, obviously. And what we were joking about was we tried to find goal of the season and there wasn't one. They were like, all the goals of the season had come up. The Swans online had done a goal of the season and they were crap. Like, right,
Yeah.
you know, I think Huw against Palace was about the best of them. He'd gone on his right
Yeah,
foot and
yeah,
then
yeah,
across
that's
the goal.
right, yeah.
But we scored some fucking great goals.
I think the goal of the season's got to be like Dan James's, because that like went fucking round the world. That
Yeah, I
didn't
think,
it?
do you know what, it depends what way you want to look at it, because individual, that brilliance, you know, no one else is going to do that. But then some of the team ones were like the City goal, what Selena's one with the
brilliant
bill,
goal.
and to cut
Brilliant.
through them like
Yeah,
that the way we did.
That-
Most of it was one-touch
Yeah.
football as well.
You know, like it's me. Now we're having a serious conversation about it now. Where last year we just fucking laughed amongst ourselves
Oh,
about it.
really,
Like,
really.
we're just taking the piss. But you know, you took right. Selena Screamer, whoever that was against, I can't remember. Right?
Gillingham, I think that was in the FA Cup.
When he just launched
Yeah.
into the top corner. The one where he went against Ipswich we talked about it,
Yeah.
which went the
Where
length
we
of the
pa-
pitch,
yeah.
about 5 passes.
Passing it like on our byline,
Yeah.
wasn't we first?
Yeah, and then Selena put it in. You got Dan James against Brentford. You got Dan James at the end of the season when he kept
Yeah,
on his
where
right
he's
foot
put- yeah,
and
yeah,
put it in the top
yeah.
corner. Again, I can't remember who I was there, and I can't even remember what that
Yeah,
game
I
was.
forgot who that was against.
Then, what did you say, Pat?
I said Dan James.
The Dan James thing, yeah.
Do you know even another one? To Barry Mackay's at Bolton,
Oh, yes, yeah.
where we took a corner, it's got cleared out, rolled across to the edge of the box, and he's just
Zipped it
fired
back
it back
across,
into the top
back
corner.
across in the top corner. We scored, you know, that's what I mean. This year it was a lot easier to get behind the team because there was always a chance of that type of thing happening. Like, you always felt like we had it in the locker.
Do you know what's easier as well? I think you're rooting for them because the young kids who are coming on
Yeah,
the
of
scene,
course, yeah.
and you can tell that it's not about money. It's not about them picking up a wage. It's about them going out and trying to make themselves a player and show you how good they are. Where the season before in the Premier League, you're seeing people on massive money. You're probably looking at a fan and saying they're not putting it in enough and they're not working hard and doesn't look like they're in a relegation battle. And I think you're older against them more as well. Where with these young lads, you're rooting for them more because you want them to do well because you know they're just going out.
The
and
odds,
wanting to-
you feel like the odds are stacked against
Yeah.
them. It's like that siege mentality thing,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's like, fuck, let's get in this together.
And I think that's
like,
what helped us this year as well. Even what was going on around with the board and everything, I think that helped the fans get together and get behind the team more.
Yeah.
I thought it was
That's
a
what-
great
that's what-
atmosphere.
when there was a lot of talk and it was like, let's stage a walkout and all this and that, I couldn't get behind that type of thing because, you know, not with this team, because
Yeah.
they don't deserve that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? All right, they're gonna have good games, they're gonna have bad games, they're inexperienced. Like you said, it's their first seasons as full pros, basically.
Yeah.
in at that level, I couldn't get down with that. Like, you know, every fan have got a right to do what they want. If they want to slag them off, whatever, that's up to them. But I always felt like the more the season went on, the more I wanted to go, the more I was passionate about, right, come on, let's get down there, let's get behind the team, like, you know. And I saw some shit performances, don't get me wrong, like, you know.
You're always going
it's
to
gonna happen,
We're going to
like,
see some more this year.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah.
the way it is.
It's the way football is. No one is, you know, even Man City last year, as good as they were, they had a couple of shit performances. That's why they didn't win every single fucking game.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, it happens to every team. Like I say, my for the next season, my hopes is just, well, we don't lose the fucking Cardiff for starters, because that'll break my heart.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
don't even want to think about that,
I know.
right? Because that does my head in. I haven't missed not playing them. I never do. Like, people are like going, oh, the South Wales Derby is back. I'm going, fuck the South Wales Derby. I don't want to play them because I'm just like a bag of nerves.
It's one of them, isn't it? If you win, it's the best game in the world.
Yeah.
If you don't, you know, it's the worst.
It's the fucking worst. But if we, like I say, if we can just keep at least the nucleus of this team and bring in a few loans, I think we'll be alright. Like,
Yeah.
but you know, like you say, time will tell as regards to that. I'm just fucking. That is it, basically.
I think if you look at him now, he's Cooper's gone away, took the team away, so he's away for a week with them. He'll probably look, see what he needs, but then again, I think
what he needs and what he'll get.
Who did he bring in with him? Who did he bring in
he's
with
brought Mike Marsh. Do you remember him?
Ah, that's
him?
right,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
that's
remember,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he would have worked at Liverpool with Marsh.
Yeah.
And I think that's another.
Huh?
Still got his
I
boots.
know.
He might need, yeah.
I think that's another good character to bring in
Yeah,
as
I
well.
bet, yeah.
And Marshy's one of them where on that work side and on that bite,
Really?
he's one of them where that's what he'd want from the
Yeah.
players, you know what I mean? He'd want that. So I think the two of them would work together because I think Coops is a bit more laid back, and that was a bit like Roberto and Graham Jones. Roberto would never shout at you.
Good guy back. Good guy back.
Yeah. But Bonner, Graham Jones, he'd go for you like at half time.
Really?
Yeah, you'd be worried about going in because he would kick off, and then Roberto would come in and calm it down. And then
Good player, isn't
get his points
Yeah,
across.
perfect. Like.
Yeah. So I think that's what it'll be, a similar one like that, because I think that's the characters that they are, that's the way they'll be. But I think most importantly, football-wise, Coops likes that total football. He wants to play out from the back, he wants to play that
like
football.
when I first heard his name mentioned to me, I was like, ooh, I didn't have any ideas of it. And it was just like, get some money on this guy. I was like, right, okay. And I had this nice Stone Island jacket out of it as it was. Yeah, cracking. So I was like, I'm chuffed he's come in. Obviously I want to win it, but then I started looking into it seriously, like, and I'm like, yeah, this is the type of guy, like when Pop...
This is the type of appointment you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't want the advertising.
No. This is
But that's it, because you know what you're getting with them,
Yeah.
and you know it's only going to be a matter of time before then they get sacked.
Exactly.
And nothing changes.
Yeah.
Nothing could they just come in and do a job. They're the type of what they are, where you come in at the end of the season when someone's going to get relegated, they need that little push, they get them out of it, and that's it.
Yeah, a fortune by doing it.
We're a team now where we want to build on what Potter's put in, because we've put good foundations in football wise. He got us playing attractive football again, and I think Coops will just roll into that.
Yeah, I think they make sense perfectly. I was quite excited by Potter coming in last year, and now looking into what Cooper's done and reading stuff about him, and like what you're saying now, that makes me excited for what he can do again.
Yeah.
As long as he's allowed to do, as regards, obviously he's allowed to do what he does, but I mean as regards player wise,
what he can bring in, what he
can do, like, it's going to be another long season. What about for us? Are we done?
Thanks again.
Thanks again, Trunds. It's
my pleasure.
Been an absolute pleasure again.
Nice one, Pat. Nice one, like.
We wish you the best. This is the finale of season 2. 40 episodes again. I didn't realise today we did 40 first time round. And 40 second time round. That's just not
what, just by chance?
Just by chance. It was chance, genuinely.
Yeah.
I
You
was
must
like,
get bored around the same time.
well, it's,
Yeah.
No, last year though, see, because what happened was, last year, actually, we done less if we were like that, because we didn't stop in the summer. Like, we were having a break now.
Oh, we had the World Cup.
We had the World Cup, didn't we? So, like, we was like, England are playing, fuck it, we'll watch the England game and do the podcast, like, and that's the way we did it. So we probably did 5 or 6 extra podcasts that we hadn't planned on doing, like, because we did every single England game, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we did, yeah.
And we done the semi-final. So, but we hadn't planned that, so we went on, and we didn't really have a break. Because neither of us went abroad, did we?
No.
We had a week here or a week there,
Yeah.
that was it. And through the season we had a week, but it ended up, I was looking at it 79, the next one would be 80. I was like, fuck, we done 40 podcasts. And in that, we did people that we never thought, like with Leon. Well, Leon was actually the first one of what I would consider the second season.
Right.
And then like we chased Enzo for ages over the first year. It didn't happen until the second one. We had Jamie Harris back from Ireland. We had Jay Harris, the boxer. We had so many different people on. Kyle Cobb and that. I wrote them all down. It was just, when I was reading through it today, I was like, fuck, we didn't do too bad.
Yeah.
Because it was a difficult second album, wasn't it? It's like how does it go?
What's the storyboarding going? It ended up being a classic. Here's the next one is shit.
The next one we're struggling.
Yeah.
Trunds, we better get some numbers off him. We'll end up with Lee Bevan on you now.
Yeah. I said it'd be shit, we're not desperate.
But we just want to thank everyone again for listening. Thanks to Boss Brewery, thanks to JMW Eating, thanks to the Bunkhouse, thanks to everyone who was on this season of the podcast. Still tickets available for next Friday for Trundle and Paddy at Boss Brewery for the gentleman's evening, and that pretty much is it. We're going to have a break. I'm not sure how long we're going to be yet. I'm on holiday for 2 weeks, maybe 4, maybe 6 weeks. I just need a little time away from this for a sec, and then we'll come back and we'll crack on again. We've got a hit list of people, trust me. It's a proper hit list, and if we get some in, season 3 will be alright. We'll be fine. Pad, you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Trunds?
Goodbye.
Right, we're out here. Peace.
Ambition, is critical.